Everybody love debate till the judges say they lost. Funny how everybody claim they want smoke till the scorecards come across.
My name is my name.
Everybody gangster when the verdict go their way. Taking victory laps, posting on social media all day. But let them catch an L, now the judges all corrupt. Now the rules wasn't fair, now the platform messed up. When you won, it was justice. When you lost, it was rigged. When the spotlight was on you, man, you danced a little jig.
Funny how the narrative changes overnight. You a scholar on Monday, by Tuesday ready to fight.
Y'all don't want accountability, you want applause. Want championship treatment without championship flaws. See, debate ain't about feelings, it's about evidence, argument, and skill. Sometimes you climb the mountain,
sometimes you fall down the hill. You want it to be one way,
but it's the other way.
but it's the other way.
When you win, it's all love.
When you lose, it's another day. You want it to be one way,
But it's the other way.
the same judges you praised last month ain't fair today. You want it to be one way,
But it's the other way.
the facts don't bend for feelings, no matter what you say. My name, my name.
The hate got me laughing. It really tell the story. If the platform wasn't working, why they obsessed with my glory? Every week somebody got an opinion to proclaim, but they still tune in faithfully. That's free promotion of the name. Paradigm shift, TV 314 still standing, while critics in the comments keep demanding and demanding. See the infamous perspective, giving viewpoints room to breathe. The black church files digging deeper than was seen. The Himmy takeover, bringing coaches to the floor. The GT perspective, asking questions they ignore. Here you get many choices. Ladies' night, giving divas voices. Different minds, different paths, different truth. Reaching the elders and the youth. But it's the other way.
You said the platform needed you, but somehow you still stay.
Yeah,
You wanted to be one way,
but it's the other way.
the show keeps moving forward.
Hey, welcome to Paradigm Shift TV 314. This is your brother, the infamous DMG, aka Brother Pianki, also known as DMG the Poet. With that being said, we got a powerful show with two of Worldview War's most powerful debaters. We got the Kemet Infomonger in the building. He will be challenging none other than the man I call the best biblical debater, Big Himmy, for the Worldview War social media title. But before they get into their spiel, y'all know I got to do my spiel. So allow me to say God bless to all my Christian brothers and sisters, Hotep to all my Kemetic brothers and sisters. I want to say Assalamu alaikum to all my Muslim brothers and sisters, Islam to all my Moorish brothers and sisters, peace to all my brothers and sisters in the nation of gods and earth, them 5 percenters. I want to say shalom to all my Israelite brothers and sisters. I want to say halito to all my Abo brothers and sisters. I want to say what's up to all my atheist brothers and sisters. Bless up to all my Rasta brothers and sisters. Last and certainly not least, I want to say Jumbo to all the rest of my brothers and sisters all throughout the African diaspora, be it here in the wilderness of the United States of America and beyond. Y'all know I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only, is because if you're black, I'm with you, and I hope that you with me. Our different ideologies should not keep us from uniting. We can have unity without uniformity. And last and certainly not least, and I know this the hardest part, shout out to the haters. We can't disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. And listen, man, I see y'all 8-hour videos and I see my name in y'all titles, and salute to y'all, man. Listen, being talked about and disliked by haters is the price I pay. You know what I mean? Being disliked and hated by losers is the price I pay for not being one of them. Salute to y'all niggas. That being said, man, let me introduce the Kemet Infomonger, man. What's good with you?
I'm chilling. I'm good. Loving it. Peace to the chat. Peace to everyone. My pleasure being here. I love debating. I love being back. It's been a while, but I've been looking forward to my big day with Big Himmy.
No
Mr.
doubt.
Showdown, Mr. Himmy.
Hey, Himmy, you know the Kemet Infomonger is super confident, bro, man. You are the reigning, defending Worldview Wars Debate League social media champion, man. I gotta hit this button for you.
The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here!
Hey,
Better know it.
go ahead, man. Go in.
I'm saying you better know it. Hey, welcome to the big leagues, Mr. Kimmy Infomonger, Caballero, Cadillac the Converter. How you say your name?
Catalytic converter. You had it right the first time, Mr. Cab.
Hey man, welcome to the big league, man. Hey, we finna have a great debate, man. I look forward to your presentation and what you got to bring forward, bro. I hope you brought your best because I brought mine, bro. So let's put on the show. Let's do it. I'm ready, man. I'm ready, DMG. Let's get it.
My best, nothing less. Big up to the Infomonger, Sister Light, Jose Francis, Ivory. Big up to the Infomongers. We here to the end.
Ooh, shout out to the Barbarians. Shout out to the World Rewards Debate League. Shout out to my brother DMG. Shout out to all the Christians. You know what I'm saying? This is for y'all. You feel me? So you want to bring up them info money.
Hey,
Finna
shout
put
out to
BTA.
everybody. Shout out to everybody in the chat. My man Vincent Mueller for always being in the building. Shout out to my man Kassad in the building. Kassad, I don't know if you saw, bro. I don't know if you saw that top 10, bro. But if you ain't see it, rewind it, bro, because I think you made it. We got to get you in here. You say you want one of them belts. That's where it start. Shout out to the Lioness in the building. Shout out to Bar Reloaded, Ray the Diva. She only in here because Himmy debating. Miss Hayru Conscious in the building. Shout out to her. Shout out to who else in the building? Hayru Conscious himself. The man, the beat, the not so legendary Marble Mouth Molly in the building. Shout out to you, brother. We in here, man. Appreciate all y'all for tuning in. Shout out to Random Info as well. The Hebrew Jedi in the building. He say why they not rapping. Why y'all not rapping, man?
He who has no name Toy, is in the audience.
No,
All right.
no, sir. He ain't coming over here. He ain't gonna give me no view. He just gonna do another 8-hour video about me and get some more people to come and subscribe to my channel. Shout out to that loser. But yeah, man, let's get down to it, man. Y'all know how we do. It is a title on the line, so we have 15-minute rounds. These are the championship rounds. So we have a 3-minute opening, 2 15-minute rounds, a 12-minute chin check for each of these brothers, and then a 3-minute closeout. So with that, we will start with our brother Himmy. He is the affirmative. You will have 3 minutes on the clock. Time will start when you start talking. Do you need me to share your screen for your opening?
Yes, sir. Can you make sure it's full screen as well? Let me cut my camera.
All right.
All right.
Time starts when you start.
Got you. So the title of this debate is: Are Christians truly monotheistic? right? I am the affirmative. So good evening, judges, moderators, everybody watching, and of course, my opponent, Mr. Steve. Tonight I stand on the affirmative of the resolution. The academic world doesn't just define monotheism, it identifies Christianity with monotheism. So let's establish the standard. The Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy defines monotheism as the view that there is only one God. Oxford Research Encyclopedia of Religion says the word is most widely understood as the belief that only one God exists. All right, the Oxford Classical Dictionary discusses developed Judaism and Christianity in connection with what is explicitly called monotheism in the strict sense. Oxford's Philosophy of Religion, a very short introduction, says theism lies at the heart of the Abrahamic religions of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And Stanford doesn't present Christianity as some outside religion we're trying to squeeze into the category either. It discusses Christianity as one of the major traditions with a commitment to monotheism. All right. So before we get to one Bible verse, judges, I want y'all to notice what happened before I have even quoted a Bible verse. Academia established the standard, and academia applied the category to Christianity. So, my thesis tonight is simple. Christianity is truly monotheistic because Christianity recognizes one God and therefore satisfies the academic definition of monotheism. And I'm going to establish that through 3 questions. The first question is, what is monotheism? Right? The second question is, where did the term come from? How was it established? The third question is, does Christianity's own scripture teach what that definition requires in order to be monotheistic? Okay? The term itself was coined by Christians, all right? The Oxford Research Encyclopedia doesn't merely define monotheism. It tells us the term itself was coined and popularized by Christian philosophers in the second half of the 17th century. I'm going to come back to that because I'm going to show you who is credited with introducing the term and the Christian context surrounding it. Then we're going directly to Christianity's own scripture. All right? So my case progresses very simply. Academia establishes the definition. Number 2,
That
history
is
establishes
time.
the origin.
That
And
is
3,
time.
scripture
Finish your thought.
establishes the belief. Got you.
All right, we're going to reset the time. Let me bring Himmy's presentation down. Mr. Cab, you need me to share your screen for your 3-minute opening.
Hold on a second. You can't see my screen?
Yep.
You cannot see it. Oh, there you
No,
go.
no, I got it. There you go.
Hold on. All right. All right, it's moving.
Yes, sir. Time starts when you start talking.
Want the truth? You can't handle the truth. Want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
Okay, start my time.
Time starts.
My diction is not fiction. It's not a contradiction. It's just facts. So relax. Take a deep breath and let it all out. No doubt. Remove the veils from your eyes as I tell you no lies. We live on. Methodology and historical analytical presentation that uses factual evidence to illustrate that Christians are not truly monotheistic. Debate premise. I will address the debate question. Are Christians truly monotheistic by referencing the Anglican English Catholic priest Henry Moore, who in 1660 coined the phrase monotheism. During the 1600s, Christian priests rationalized as monotheistic and holy their nefarious colonizing behavior. Christian priests infiltrated indigenous melanated societies, making the polytheistic pagan devil worshipping natives docile and less rebellious against genocide and chattel slavery. Christians established an empire where Caucasian power brokers present themselves as monotheistic, pure, and holy mercenaries, missionaries fighting against the polytheistic pagans whose lands they robbed of natural resources while converting and enslaving the native captives. Debate premise: I will show that by worshiping, venerating, and deifying angels, priests, and saints, Christians are not monotheistic, but are as polytheistic as the pagan native people whom they conquered, raped, and pillaged. Introduction. In this case, it is very challenging to debate from the affirmative where the ops is the subject matter expert. Taking a negative stance, I am presenting factual historical evidence that questions the validity of the term and religious practice of monotheistic Christianity. Using a gambler's analogy, the ops need not leave no tokens in the debate casino. Those coins represents doubts, ambiguity, and uncertainty that I will parlay to the cashier's window, bringing the social media belt home to the infomongers. In the land of the infomongers, that belt brings homage to Sister Ivory, Step Into the Light, and the Queens of the Shift 314. Introduction, debate premise. I will use the concluding statement from the 325 CE Council of Nicaea and the Nicene Creed to support that God, the creator of universes, and Jesus are not the same person and or deity. In worshiping separate, distinct deities, Christians cannot be monotheistic. I will mention the Kemetic king Akhenaten, Amenhotep III, who some scholars, particularly Sigmund Freud and the Biblical Archaeological Society, refer to as the original monotheist. I say that King Akhenaten was not truly monotheistic in the contemporary sense of the word. King Akhenaten's reign from approximately 1353 BCE to 1336 BCE was more about seizing political and economic power from the Amun-Ra priesthood. It had less to do with bringing into fruition a monotheistic religion. King
And that
Akhenaten
is time. That is time. Finish your thought.
King Akhenaten centered power around himself, his family, the Aten, and he and his family were the living embodiment of the Aten.
All right. Let me move Steve's presentation down. Bring Himmy's back up. Himmy, let me reset your time for 15 minutes. If you run into an issue where you need me to stop your time, let me know. Time is at 15 minutes, and it will start when you start talking.
Okay, this is pretty interesting because he brought up Henry Moore, which I wouldn't even expect him to do. And then he spent his introduction arguing for Jesus and the Father not being the same deity, which we're going to address later. But I'm going to establish my affirmative case. All right. All right. So what this means for the negative, this is continuing my opening, but judges understand what this means for the negative position tonight. Steve isn't simply questioning my personal Christian belief because I didn't walk in here and invent the standard. I sourced it. If Steve says Christianity isn't truly monotheistic, he's challenging the academic definition and application of the very term we're debating. And disagreement alone isn't a rebuttal. He has to give you a reason why his understanding and application of monotheism should outweigh the academic evidence placed before you. And remember, we haven't even opened the Bible yet. So I'm not asking these judges to squeeze Christianity into monotheism. Academia already has established Christianity standing inside the category. Now I'm going to show you why through the definition, through the history, and through Christianity's own scripture. The negative has to overcome all three. And that's exactly what I'm here to prove. Okay? So, round one. Here we go. Judges, in my opening, I told you exactly what my burden is. I am the affirmative. My burden is to demonstrate that Christianity is truly monotheistic. And I told you I was going to establish that in 3 steps. Step number 1, what does monotheism actually mean? Step number 2, where does this terminology come from and how is it academically applied? Step number 3, does Christianity itself actually teach what the definition requires? Okay? So, we're going to keep this extremely simple. So now we get to the evidence. And I want everybody to keep this debate extremely simple because the proposition is actually simple itself. The question is not whether Steve likes Christian theology. The question is not whether Steve agrees with Christian theology. The question is not whether Steve would personally define God the same way that Christians do. The question is Christianity truly monotheistic? Okay? So again, we're going back to the academic definition. So before anybody can answer that question, we need to know what monotheistic means. And I'm not going to make up my own definition. I'm going to let academia define the word. Rebecca Lyman in the Encyclopedia of Christianity gives us the definition under the entry monotheism. She says, monotheism is a religious, theological, or philosophical position whose normative feature is recognition of only one God. Okay? Judges, that is the standard. Recognition of only one God. Not my standard, not Steve's standard. That's the academic definition. So write that down because everything else tonight has to come back to that. Okay? All right. So how many gods does Christianity recognize? If the answer is one, then Christianity satisfies the definition unless my opponent can demonstrate otherwise. And this is where this gets even worse for the negative position because the same academic source doesn't just define monotheism. It tells us something about the history of the term itself. Under the section titled Historical Definitions, Lyman says, and I quote, since the term monotheism is a Christian one, listen to that again. Since the term monotheism is a Christian one, it's a Christian term. She explains that the term is modern and connects to the first use to Cambridge Platonist Henry Moore, which he brought up in his opening. So he agrees that the term was coined by a Christian himself. Okay? And on the very next page, she tells us what Moore's main purpose was. She says his main aim was to distinguish the Christian worship of God from that of others. Okay? Now, judges, I need y'all to understand how significant that is to this debate. We're debating whether Christianity is truly monotheistic. Yet I'm showing you an academic encyclopedia telling you that monotheism is a Christian term within itself. And that its early usage was specifically being employed to distinguish Christian worship of God from other forms of worship. I'm not arguing that because Christians use the word that Christianity automatically wins. That's not my argument. The argument is that my opponent cannot walk into this debate and treat monotheism like it's some foreign standard that was created independently of Christianity and Christianity later tried to squeeze itself into it. Historically, that's backwards. The terminology itself developed within Christian intellectual discourse. Okay? All right. So it gets worse because there's three pieces of evidence. Because Lyman doesn't leave us wondering whether Christianity actually qualifies. Under monotheism in religious history, she writes, along with Christianity, Judaism and Islam plainly count as monotheistic religions. Again, she says, along with Christianity, Judaism and Islam plainly count as monotheistic religions. So let's stop right here because we already have three pieces of evidence from one academic source. She gave us the definition, recognition of only one God. She gave us the history. The term monotheism is a Christian one, meaning it came from a Christian author. Application. Christianity plainly counts as a monotheistic religion. So the definition, history, and application, all three support my affirmative. And judges, this isn't some random Christian website trying to defend Christianity. This is an academic reference work explaining the term itself. Okay? Now, I don't want you just accepting my position based on one academic source. So we're going to keep going. The Encyclopedia Britannica defines monotheism as belief in the existence of one God or the oneness of God. And what religions does Britannica immediately identify? Watch this. It says Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. So now we have another independent academic reference giving us essentially the same standard and applying it directly to Christianity. One God, Christianity, monotheism. Notice how simple this keeps being. Okay? All right. So, and that's important because somebody has to introduce something additional to make Christianity fail this definition. That's what Steve is going to have to do. The definition itself isn't doing it. Academic classification isn't doing it. The history of the terminology isn't doing it. So, whatever argument we hear against Christianity being monotheistic tonight has to introduce an additional criterion and then demonstrate why that criterion belongs in the definition itself. You don't get to redefine the category in the middle of the debate just to remove Christianity from it. All right. So, two questions that should never be confused. And judges, there's an extremely important distinction here, right? So, the first question is Christianity true? That's not what this debate is about tonight. Is Christianity monotheistic? That's a separate question, and that's what we're debating. Those are not the same proposition. A religion can be monotheistic, and somebody can still believe that that religion in itself is completely false. I do not have to prove Christianity true tonight. I do not have to prove every Christian doctrine true tonight. I do not have to prove that what I do have to prove tonight is that Christianity is monotheistic. So if somebody disagrees with Christianity and doesn't make Christianity polytheistic, right? If somebody thinks Christians misunderstand God, I misspoke. So if somebody disagrees with Christianity, that doesn't make Christianity polytheistic. If somebody thinks Christians misunderstand God, that doesn't make Christianity polytheistic. If somebody believes Christianity's conception of God is wrong, that still does not make Christianity polytheistic, because monotheism is a classification concerning the recognition of one God. All right? So, now we've established the academic side. Let's ask Christianity itself, because if Christianity is supposedly not monotheistic, then surely its foundational text should expose that. So what does the Bible actually say? Let's start with the foundation inherited by Christianity from the Hebrew scriptures. Okay? All right. So Deuteronomy 6:4 states, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord." That's the Shema, one Lord. Isaiah 43:10 states, Yahweh says, "Before me there was no God formed, neither shall there be one after me." How many? One. Isaiah 44:6 states, "I am the first, I am the last, and beside me there is no God." How many? Just one. Isaiah 45:5 states, "I am the Lord, and there is none else. There is no God beside me." Again, one. And I deliberately gave you multiple passages because I don't want anybody pretending Christian monotheism hangs on one isolated verse. The Hebrew scriptures repeatedly establish the same thing. There is one God. There is no God beside him. There was none before him. There will be none after him. Okay? All right. Now, Jesus and the apostles, right? Somebody may say that that's the Old Testament. Fine. We're going to go directly to Jesus, right? So Mark 12:29 reads, Jesus is asked, which commandment is the first of all? Jesus answers, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord." Jesus himself affirms the Shema from Deuteronomy 6:4. That's one God. 1 Corinthians 8:4 states, "There is none other God but one." I don't know how much clearer English can get. There is none other God but one. 1 Timothy 2:5 states, "For there is one God." Again, one God. James 2:19, "Thou believest that there is one God, thou doest well." Okay? The witnesses. So now look at all the witnesses. Moses says one. Isaiah says no God besides Yahweh. Jesus says one. Paul says one. James says one. Different authors, different periods, different contexts, same confession. There is one God. Okay? Now, back to the definition, right? And now, judges, what I want to bring you directly back to the definition we started with. What did academia tell us monotheism means? Recognition of only one God. What does Christianity scripture recognize? One God. What does academia classify Christianity as? Monotheistic. Where does the terminology historically develop? With Christian intellectual history. At this point, my affirmative case isn't complicated. It doesn't need to be. In fact, simplicity is part of the strength of the argument. All right. So the triangle analogy. Let me give you an example. If I ask whether something is a triangle, we first define
2 minutes.
triangle.
2 minutes.
I got you. Once we establish what a triangle is, we examine the object and ask whether it satisfies the definition. We don't look at a triangle and say, I don't like how those three sides relate to each other, therefore I'm going to call it a square. No, the category has criteria. Either the object satisfies those criteria or it doesn't. Same thing here. Monotheism has a meaning. The academic definition we've established centers on recognition of one God. Christianity recognizes one God. Therefore, Christianity satisfies the defining criterion of monotheism. Okay? If my opponent wants an additional requirement, he has to, right? And I want you to be careful, judges, listen to this, because simply asserting another requirement is evidence. If Steve tells you, well, to me, true monotheism means stop. That's not what we're debating. We're not debating, is Christianity monotheistic according to Steve Caballero's personal definition. We're debating, is Christianity truly monotheistic per its definition? That's why I established the terminology academically before opening the Bible, because now we have an independent standard against which Christianity can actually be measured. All right? So it is not a special exception. Calling Christianity monotheistic isn't some special exception academia gives Christians because Christians want the label. The sources themselves classify Christianity alongside Judaism and Islam as monotheistic religions. So for the negative position to overturn my affirmative, he doesn't merely need to tell you that he doesn't consider Christianity monotheistic. He needs to give you a reason to reject the established definition I provided, reject the academic classification I provided, and demonstrate that Christianity fails the actual criterion of recognizing one God, despite Christianity repeatedly saying there is one God. That's the hill the negative chose to climb tonight.
That is time. That is time. Let me move Big Himmy's screen back down. Let me reset the clock at 15 minutes. Let me bring up the Kemet Infomonger. Let me extend that screen. Kemet Infomonger, your first round will start when you're ready.
My name is on the street. My name is my name.
All right, my slides up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ready? Let's go. Round one. Debate question to be resolved by presenting factual historical evidence. Are Christians truly monotheistic? Definition. Monotheism is a complex and nuanced concept. The word monotheism is a combination of the Greek monos, meaning single, and theos, meaning God. Monotheism is the belief, and that word there, belief, as my
Steve,
point,
I stopped
yeah,
you. I
I'm
stopped your
muted.
time at 14 minutes, 39 seconds.
Yeah.
Do you want to go to the slideshow where your slides on the side not showing?
Hold on. Nah, make it big. Mine are big. Mine is big. Hold
Yeah,
on,
no,
hold on.
I
My
got
bad,
it.
my
I
bad.
got
I
it.
get it. I get it. I get it. My bad, my bad. Thanks for
Okay.
stopping. That's better.
Yes, sir. All right. Time starts at 14 minutes, 39 seconds.
Okay, thanks a lot. Okay, so monotheism is the belief in only one God. There we see the word belief again. And society is indoctrinated that when we talk about belief and if it's connected to a faith, then it is true. People are indoctrinated not to question their beliefs, particularly when it's tied to some sort of religion. But beliefs can be correct or they can be incorrect, and very often these religious beliefs, they are incorrect. They're not based in fact. They're not based in evidence. So monotheism is a belief in only one deity or God. It is the belief in one God as a singular existence, disallowing the possibility of there being other deities. Angels are deities. Within a monotheistic belief system, there should be no angels or devils instructing and influencing humankind to do wrong or to do right. There should also be no saints and or enlightened ancestors, deity to call on for guidance in this life. Monotheism was coined by Henry Moore in 1660. Henry Moore, born on October 12th, 1614, and died on September 1st, 1687, was an English philosopher, Anglican, meaning English Catholic priest, theologian, and poet associated with the Cambridge Planktonist Society. In the 1600s, during the life of Anglican priest Henry Moore, who coined the phrase monotheism, England fought and or controlled many Caribbean colonies. European colonizers used their priests as soft entry for conquest. And there we see an actual image of Henry Moore. So we're looking at an English colonizer who coined these phrases. So there's an ulterior motive here for coming up with these words, and it has to do with raping and pillaging the monotheistic, the melanated native people and stealing their land, and to justify their crimes. The prefix poly, many, as in the term polytheistic, many gods, deities, is also applicable to Christians. Definition: polytheism. The term comes from the Greek poly, meaning many, and theos, God, and was coined by the Jewish writer Philo of Alexander to argue with the polytheistic Greeks. Moving forward from the 1600s and Henry Moore, who coined the phrase monotheism, in 1846, Englishman Thomas de Quincey popularized the contrasting phrase polytheism. Polytheism describes a religion that recognizes and worships many gods and or deities, and is analogous with pagan and or idol worshiper, and that is from religion24.net. Christians believe in a devil and or demons, which are so-called fallen angels, deities or gods. Saints and the Kemetic Shepsu, enlightened ancestors, are also deities to be called on for answers in this life. And there again, Philo, with his aquiline features, his thin nose and no lips. These are the people who are coining these phrases. And then you see Thomas de Quincey in 1846, who coined the phrase polytheism. Again, we're looking at a person with aquiline features and an ulterior motive, because they are the colonizers. They are the heads of the empires that are abusing and killing indigenous people, who they're then labeling as evil and wicked and worthy to be killed and raped and pillaged and take their land. Christians are not truly monotheistic. They believe in and follow the instructions of another deity other than God. How European Christian empires utilize their priests. The term monotheism was coined by Henry Moore in 1660. If this were truly a monotheistic belief system and framework, it would have to be God who instructs humankind to carry out genocide and chattel enslavement of indigenous people, which followed and countered with Christian priests. Definition of true, truth, or truly, as mentioned in the debate resolution or topic. Truly, true, conforming to the actual state of reality or fact. Factually correct. The historical evidence that I am presenting is factual truth. European Christian empires understood that military force alone could not stabilize newly conquered territories. Indigenous pagan polytheistic people perceived Christian priests as innocuous, meaning harmless, but priests were used to gain entry into indigenous communities to determine population size, leadership customs, and resistance levels. These priests were the ops and the snitches, identify local spiritual authorities such as shamans, chiefs, and healers. These figures held massive influence to be co opted by Christian priests. With English conquest in the 1600s, Christian priests were more concerned with political power and wealth than any monotheistic god. Priests were used to determine how easily the indigenous melanated people could be controlled, abused, and manipulated. Christian priests introduced European worldview and obedience to Christian Christ priestly authority. As Christ's representative, priests helped convert their perceived spiritual authority into political power and material wealth. European priests tried to discredit native spiritual systems, replacing them with Christian authority and redirecting loyalty from local leaders to the church and crown, as they raped the land and its melanated inhabitants. Once spiritual authority was broken, political resistance weakened. What followed was genocide and chattel enslavement of indigenous people. Christians are not monotheists who only adhere to the supreme creator deity, God. In the 1600s, English priest Henry Moore coined the phrase monotheism to rationalize England's colonial crimes against humanity and indigenous polytheistic people as though it was a command from their one and only God, the only deity that they commune with and follow. England was the most successful of the northwestern European predators on the Spanish possessions. In 1623, the English occupied part of St. Christopher, St. Kitts, and in 1625, they occupied Barbados. By 1655, when Jamaica was captured from a small Spanish garrison, English colonies had been established in Nevis, Antigua, and Montserrat. Christian Catholics are not monotheistic, but are polytheistic idol worshippers. Due to the political power and wealth stemming from the Roman Empire, the Catholic Church and its adherents can claim that they are not polytheistic pagans because they worship Jesus. In the same bloody, sacrificial vein of worshiping Jesus, Roman Catholics are Christians, however. Strictly speaking, the term polytheism connotes an attitude of hatred towards the god or gods, rather than making a statement about their nature. Definitions: idol worshiper has negative connotations and specifically refers to the worship of graven images that represent aspects of the natural world and God. That is from redkeyweapp.com. Christianity is an Abrahamic so-called monotheistic religion based on the Bible and the teachings of Jesus. Given the evidence that I am providing, the oxymoronic term monotheistic Christian describes someone who is internally conflicted and hypocritical. Pagan, a derogatory term that was invented by Christians to disparage polytheistic adversaries. It derives from the Latin word pagus, or countryside, from reddit.com. Angels are more evolved forms of interdimensional life that should not be venerated if Christians were in fact monotheistic. Biblical evidence, creation timeline. The Bible does not specify an exact date for the creation of angels, but it indicates that they were present when God laid the foundation of earth. In Job 38:4-7, God asked Job, "Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation?" ... While the morning stars sang together and all the angels shouted for joy. This suggests that angels were created before the physical world was established. And that's from Billy Graham Evangelistic Association. In a more universal and scientific sense, angels may be thought of as older, more evolved forms of life that have transitions past the current human state of existence. Just as humans have a spiritual component, so too do angels, as communication is possible. An older, more evolved form As older, more evolved forms of spiritual interdimensional life, angels are deities in many traditions. And there we see Ma'at, who has where they got these wings from, an older tradition. that is not monotheistic, by the way. Christians worship angelic deities, and Christians cannot worship angelic deities and still be monotheistic. Explanation: veneration is similar to worship or respect. The main meaning is for a type of religious zeal, and that's from dictionary.com. In Christian traditions, certain angels are venerated and invoked in prayer, with recognition varying by denomination. The most common are the archangels, but other angelic orders are named, and named angels are also honored in specific contexts. The Catholic Church recognizes three archangels by name: Michael, invoked in the Angelus, and Hail Mary, venerated in Roman Catholic, Orthodox, and Anglican traditions. Gabriel and Raphael, also venerated in Roman Catholic, Orthodox, and Anglican traditions. Gabriel, known for announcing the Annunciation; Raphael, invoked in the Salve Regina. The Church permits veneration only of angels named in Scripture to avoid speculation of non biblical angelologies, theological doctrine concerning angels. In 325 CE, Council of Nicaea supports that Christians are not monotheist. Jesus is a distinct person who is a separate deity from God. The Council of Nicaea formally declared that Jesus is fully divine, of the same substance as God the Father. This is the doctrine called homoousios, of one essence. The council rejected Arius' teaching that Jesus was a created being. The Christian History Institute summary says the council agreed that Jesus is truly God. From this 325 CE council came the Christian Nicene Creed, which states, "We believe." There's that word believe again. Belief is not founded in fact or evidence, particularly when it's tied to some religion or someone's faith. But that's fine. Believe what you want to believe. We believe we believe in one God, the Father, the Almighty Maker of heaven and earth, of all that is visible and invisible, God from God, light from light, true God from true God, of one substance, homoousios, with the Father. Definition: a person is a human being regarded as an individual, and that is from dictionary.com. DMG, I should have about a little over a minute. You didn't give me my 2-minute warning, DMG. You there, DMG? Can y'all
Yeah,
hear me?
you're two. I got you at just at 2 minutes now. I was about to tell you 2 minutes.
Yeah, there you go, my brother. Okay. Yeah. So the Council of Nicaea did not say Jesus and God are the same person, right? So the Council of Nicaea didn't say that Jesus and God are the same person. Instead, it said the Father and the Son share the same divine nature. That doesn't mean that they're the same person, but they are distinct persons. As such, they are separate and distinct entities and deities. If Christians were truly monotheistic, they would only worship the one deity, God the Father. That is the definition of monotheism. So, just to review a little bit, I mentioned that angels. So, angels are worshipped in Christian traditions. My opponent may say that Catholics are not Christians. Catholics are very well Christians, my brother. They are also one of the first Christians, right? And there we see Ma'at, where they borrow a lot of their spiritual understanding from. So they're borrowing and stealing and usurping their spiritual understanding from polytheists, and then saying, "Oh no, we didn't get it from them. We got this from our God, and we're monotheistic because we only have one God." No, my brother. The Nicene Creed and the 325 Council of Nicaea says that God and Jesus are not the same person. So you can't be worshiping God and worshiping Jesus and saying that they're the same person. That's not true. Christians are not monotheistic, but are polytheistic idol worshippers. And dare I say that due to the political power of the Roman Empire, the Catholic Church can say that they're monotheists, but the Catholics were polytheists before they absorbed into their tradition so-called Christianity.
And
But
that is time. Finish your
they
thought.
continued their polytheistic pagan ways. It's just because they had the power that they can say anything to anybody because they're an empire. So they continued this very same polytheistic ways, but say, nah, we're not polytheists, we're monotheists. Don't look at that statue. Don't look at these saints. Don't look at those
All
angels.
right,
Don't look at that.
time. All right, let me remove your screen. You got two screens up, Steve.
My bad. Take it down. Can you
All right,
move it?
I don't know which. Okay, this is.
Let me minimize.
Is this yours or is this Himmy's? Hold on.
I don't know.
All right, I got yours down. Himmy, do you have two screens up?
I got two pictures up. I got two pictures from his slides up.
Got you. Okay. Which one do you want me to share? Do it matter?
Share the one about the angels first, about the Job first, and I'm gonna start there,
Okay.
and then hold on, and I'm gonna present my other screen. 1 second.
Okay. I can't see what's on them, so when I pull it up, if that's the wrong one, let me know.
I got you. Yep, that's the one right there. That's where I'm gonna start.
All right. I got you reset at 15 minutes. Time to start when you let me know.
All right, judges and audience, I want y'all to pay attention. This is Steve's slide where he said angels are more evolved forms of interdimensional life that should not be venerated if Christians were in fact monotheistic. Again, we touched on the definition of monotheism, and the definition of monotheism is the belief in one God. It's not about whether angels can be venerated or whatever. Then he goes on to talk about what God questioned Job in Job 38, verses 4 through 7. So let's read what it said. God, the one God, asked Job, "Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation?" While the morning stars, they're not identified as gods, they're identified as morning stars, sang together, and the angels shouted for joy. So there's three distinct categories. There's God who's questioning Job, there's the morning stars, and then there are angels. So again, this has nothing to do with, he brought this up as if this would say that Christianity isn't monotheistic, but it doesn't, because Christianity believes in one God and angels and morning stars. Can you bring up the other picture for me real quick, DMG? Okay, with this one, he brought up this one to say that he said the 325 CE Council of Nicaea supports that Christians are not monotheistic, right? He said Jesus is a distinct person who is a separate deity from God. But look, watch what his slide actually reads. The Council of Nicaea formally declared that Jesus is fully divine, of the same substance as God the Father. This is the doctrine called homoousia, of one essence. So again, even when he tries to go to the Council of Nicaea and say they believe in more than one, it says that they share one essence, one God. I just wanted to show y'all that on his own slides, he confessed that Christianity believes in one true God. Okay, now I'm going to get into my round two. DMG, can you let me know if my screen is being shared? Can you see it? Make it full screen for me, please. Is it being shared? All right. All right.
Yes, sir.
So judges, at this point, I want to make something very clear. My burden and Steve's burden are not the same. I'm the affirmative. I told you Christianity is truly monotheistic, and then I gave you an objective standard to test that claim. I didn't ask you to take my word for it. I gave you academic definitions, which Steve isn't adhering to, that define monotheism around the recognition or belief in one God. Okay? I gave you academic sources that explicitly classify Christianity as monotheistic, not what Steve believes. I showed you that the term itself developed within Christian intellectual framework, and then I opened Christianity's own scripture and showed you the same confession over and over again. Okay? Now, the Lord is one. There is none other God but one. There is no God beside me. There is one God. So I met my burden. Now the negative has to actually negate something, not come up with these false arguments that he seems act like are rebutting my claims. All right. So criticizing Christianity is not the same thing as proving Christianity isn't monotheistic, Steve. Right. And that's important. Right. So finding something in Christian theology you don't understand doesn't establish multiple gods, like Father and Son sharing one essence. Okay? Finding something you think is contradictory doesn't establish multiple gods, like saying angels are venerated. Steve, there's still belief in one God, and then there's angels. Finding plurality somewhere in the Bible doesn't establish multiple gods. Finding more than one person on his Council of Nicaea slide doesn't establish multiple gods, Steve. All right, so how many gods did that argument actually prove, right? The negative has to connect its argument to the proposition. So as we examine these objections, I want the judges asking one question every single time. How many gods did that argument actually prove Christianity believes in? Because if the answer is still one, the affirmative still stands, okay? All right, so let's get to Elohim, because I'm sure he's going to bring it up in this second round. Let's deal with some of the arguments that commonly get used against Christian monotheism. One argument you may hear is that the Hebrew word Elohim is grammatically plural. Okay, I'm not afraid of that. Yes, the form Elohim is morphologically plural, but that is not the end of Hebrew grammar. When Elohim refers specifically to the God of Israel, it regularly takes singular grammatical agreement. Okay? All right, so I'm gonna show you that. And Genesis itself gives you a beautiful example, right? So Genesis 1:26 says, "Let us make man in our image." Steve will stop there, right? Somebody may point at the plural language and immediately yell, "Multiple gods," but don't stop reading. Go one verse. Genesis 1:27 reads, "So God, which is Elohim, created man in his singular noun, own image. In the image of God, he, singular noun, created him." So again, one God, one Elohim. Okay? The Hebrew verb translated created bara is singular. The text doesn't say the gods created, it says God created. And so if somebody wants to use the grammatical form of Elohim as evidence for multiple gods while ignoring the singular verbs and singular references attached to that same Elohim when referring to Yahweh, they're not giving you the grammar. They're giving you half the grammar. And even more importantly, ask my question. How many gods did the word Elohim prove Christianity believes in? Right? It didn't, because Christianity explicitly tells you the answer is one God. All right, now let's talk about counting. Another argument you're probably going to hear somewhere tonight is essentially this, which he brought up in his round. Christianity has distinctions within its understanding of God, therefore Christianity has multiple gods. But there's a problem. You're changing categories, okay? Let me make this elementary. I have one hand. That one hand has 5 distinguishable fingers. My thumb isn't my pinky. My index finger isn't my ring finger. I can distinguish between all 5. Now here's the question. Did I just prove that I have 5 hands? No. Why? Because I changed what I was counting. 5 fingers does not equal 5 hands. And before anybody attacks the analogy, I'm not saying God is a hand. The analogy isn't explaining the nature of God. It's explaining a counting error. You're switching categories. We're talking about how many gods does Christianity believe in? And the answer is always one. No matter how many angels you say exist, no matter how many persons you say exist, Christianity believes in one God. All right. So you cannot count one category and simply announce that you've established multiple members of another category. So if somebody tells you Christianity identifies distinctions and then jumps directly, therefore, multiple gods, they're missing a premise. Prove that what you're counting constitutes separate gods. He hasn't done that yet. You don't get that conclusion simply because plurality exists somewhere in the discussion. And this is exactly why my definition mattered in round one. What does monotheism count? Gods. Okay? How many gods does Christianity recognize? One. All right. So, if the Trinity gets introduced, he didn't mention the Trinity, he just mentioned Jesus' deity, right? So now my opponent decides to the Trinity his argument against Christian monotheism, then he has created another problem for himself because now I want him to show something very specific. Show me the academic definition I gave you that says monotheism means belief in one God who must be one person. Where is one person in the definition? It isn't there. Okay? All right. So that's a new definition, and now Steve has to establish it. Why? Because the Britannica didn't say that. The criterion we've established is one God. The Encyclopedia of Christianity didn't say that. The academic classification didn't say that. So if Steve introduces another criterion and says, yeah, but true monotheism requires one person, that's not a rebuttal to my definition. That's a completely new definition that he has to back by sources and cite them like I have. And now he has to establish that. Okay? All right. So Henry Moore, which he keeps referencing, himself was a Trinitarian Christian, right? And this is where the history I gave you in round one becomes extremely important. Remember Henry Moore, the Cambridge Platonists that he mentioned associated with the early modern use of the word monotheism? Henry Moore himself was a Trinitarian Christian. Think about that. If somebody's argument tonight is that Trinitarian Christianity cannot even qualify as monotheistic by definition, we have a historical problem. Why? Because a Trinitarian Christian is the one who coined the term monotheistic. We wouldn't even have the definition or the word without him. So you can't exclude his premise, his reason for coining the term, and then come up with your own new definition, Steve. That's not how this works. All right, so don't let somebody sneak their conclusion into their definition. The very Christian intellectual context in which this terminology emerged wasn't operating under Steve's proposed rule that acknowledging Trinitarian distinctions automatically mean multiple gods, right? So don't let somebody sneak that in. If your argument is three persons, therefore three gods, I need the argument between, therefore, because that's precisely the thing in dispute. You can assume it and then use your assumption to prove itself. You have to back it with sources showing why monotheism, which is defined as belief in one God, and Trinitarian belief that there are three persons that exist as this one God, can't both be true. Okay. All right. So one doesn't mean one person, right? On his Council of Nicaea thing, that's what he was trying to. Well, and this is also protection from another potential argument. Somebody may quote Deuteronomy 6:4. The Lord our God is one Lord, and then tell you that one automatically means one person. No, the text says Yahweh is one. That is exactly what I need for this debate because Yahweh is one God and one, okay? One God, which is monotheistic. Don't let the negative make me defend a claim I never needed to make. If my opponent wants to add and therefore one person, that's another proposition he has to demonstrate. I'm not required to prove some special definition of Echad to make Deuteronomy 6:4 monotheistic. Echad means one. Great, that's my argument. Yahweh, God, is one. Don't let the negative make me defend a claim I never needed to make. He has to demonstrate why he's saying Christianity believes in more than one God when that claim is never made throughout the Bible.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
got you. Right? Then he talked about the worship and veneration of angels. Watch this. So worship doesn't automatically establish another God. Here's another possible move. Somebody may say Christians worship the Father and Christians worship Jesus. Therefore, Christians worship two gods. Wait, let's slow down. Where did the second God come from? You just inserted it into the conclusion. Nobody says Jesus is a separate God. Nobody says the Father is a separate God of Jesus. There are one God, which is monotheistic. All right? So, again, that's a circular argument. If Christianity says there is one God, then demonstrating that Christian worship involves the Father and Jesus does not by itself demonstrate that Christianity believes there are two gods. You have to prove that, Steve. Otherwise, the argument becomes Christians worship the Father, Christians worship Jesus, therefore Christianity believes in two gods. Where did we get from step 1 to step 2? That conclusion only follows if you already assumed the very thing you're supposed to be proving, Steve. That's circular. Judges, mark that. Circular argument. That is a logical fallacy. Okay? Again, how many gods did you establish Christianity recognizes? You still haven't gotten beyond just one. Okay? Now, the biggest category ever. I want to separate two propositions because I don't want the judges letting these get blended together. Christianity is false, which he kind of talked about that's what we can believe in, and Christianity is not monotheistic, are completely different claims. He can believe Christianity is false. They have many reasons, political reasons for doing what they do. All of that has nothing to do with the fact that they believe in one true God. That is it. Okay? All right, so to defeat the proposition, he needs to establish multiple gods. Steve can stand here and believe Christianity is wrong about everything. That's fine. That does not make Christianity polytheistic. You could think Islam's understanding of a God is false and still accurately classify Islam as monotheistic. You could think Judaism's understanding of God is false and still accurately classify Judaism as monotheistic, because truth and classification are different questions. So Steve doesn't defeat my proposition by arguing that Christians misunderstand God. Okay? He doesn't defeat it by arguing Christian theology is illogical. He doesn't defeat it by arguing a particular Christian interpretation is wrong. To defeat this proposition, he needs to establish that Christianity does not recognize one God, but actually recognizes multiple gods. Okay? So watch his arguments carefully, right? Every time you hear an objection asked, what did that prove?
Is time. Finish your thought.
All right. So what did that prove? Is plural noun, distinctions, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, different actions, different speakers, different manifestations, whatever the argument is, where are the multiple gods? Okay? Because plurality of X does not automatically establish plurality of gods. That's my time. Thank you.
All right, let me remove Himmy's screen. Add the Kemet Infomongers. Reset the clock at 15 for the Kemet Infomongers last round in the round section. And time will start when you start. Steve, you muted. Unmute your mic, Steve.
My bad. I'm not starting yet. I just need to.
Look, I saw you bobbing your head. I thought you hit us with another bar.
My bad. Okay, hold on.
Sometimes you fall down the hill. You want it to be one way, but it's the other way.
Classic.
Sometimes you fall
Okay, I'm ready. You ready? Okay, let's start. Go. Round two. Well, my question would be: are gods deities, and are deities gods? And you're gonna tell me that deities are not gods. Okay, so you missing words and you trying to spike words on me. Okay, fine. Let's do this word game. All right, I'll get you in a chin check, my brother. I'm waiting for that chin check. Okay, round two. Christians are not truly monotheistic. They worship God, the supreme creator deity. Yes, the supreme creator deity that is distinct from angels. Yes, the personage of Jesus and deified saints. So they worship all of them. But guess what? They're only supposed to be worshiping that one supreme creator deity, the creator of universes. So this is not a different category, right? So when you start worshiping, you praying to angels, you bowing down to Jesus, and you bowing down to deified saints. Okay, you're not supposed to be doing that. You're only supposed to be worshiping the one creator of universes. God, the supreme deity, creator of universes, cannot be the same person as Jesus. God is not a person at all. God is not a person at all. God is the supreme creator being that did not develop in the womb of a human virgin to pass through her vagina and birth canal. The human womb cannot hold and support universes. Why priests and popes are beatified. In the Catholic Christian Church, beatification is the formal recognition by the Pope that a deceased person has lived a life of heroic virtue and is worthy of limited public veneration as a blessed. It is the second stage in the process towards sainthood, following the declaration of servant of God and preceding canonization. And this is a Christian tradition. Notice he's not bringing up this tradition at all, but I'm gonna bring it up because they are Christians. Christians are not truly monotheistic. They deified priests and popes are prayed to as God. Purpose of beatification. Tell me this ain't Christianity. Tell me that ain't Christianity. When a priest or pope is beatified, the church affirms that they have lived a life of exceptional holiness in accordance with Catholic teachings. They are now in heaven and can intercede for the living. So you're praying to the Pope, you're praying to saints, to intercede for the living. You're only supposed to be praying to God to intercede for you, not Jesus, only God. That is a monotheist. And you can ask a Muslim, you can ask a Jew in prayer. Other than God and Jesus, the beatified saints are also prayed to and worshiped with specific intent. They may be honored in certain places, communities, and religious groups, but not universally across the entire church. This recognition allows for liturgical celebration in their honor in certain regions or communities where they are worshipped as deities other than God. Prayerful invocation of their name in those areas through worship, naming of churches, schools, or other institutions are deified priests and popes, and that is from USC Don Seif. Christians are not truly monotheistic. Their deified saints are venerated as gods, major Roman Catholic Christian saints, and why they are prayed to. Yeah, praying to deities. You want to mince words? Okay, praying to deities and a God, a lowercase g, not the uppercase G, the creator of all things, the creator of universes. That's who you're supposed to be praying to, and only to that. When a Catholic prays to a saint, they are asking the saint to pray to God for them. That is from the veritascatholitica.org. This violates the definition of monotheistic Christianity, where only God, the supreme deity, is supposed to be prayed to. Healing of illnesses. Saint Luke the Evangelist, lived during the first century CE, the patron saint of doctors, surgeons, and medical workers who prayed to Saint Luke for insight. Christians in general prayed to Saint Luke for healing of illness. Saint Peregrine Loisio, born in 1260 in Foli, Italy, and died in 1345, the year of his death. Cancer patients and people with serious illness prayed to this saint for healing. Yeah, prayed to this deity, pray to this God to intercede between you and God. So you're praying to it, and you're not praying to the Father. And you'll say, "Oh, you're not a Catholic." Well, guess what? Catholics are Christians. You're a Christian. Saint Damphina. He lived during the 7th century in Ireland. He died between 620 to 650 CE in Gilles, Belgium. His martyrdom meaning he was murdered while doing the work of his Lord and Savior Jesus. I got no problems with that. It is traditionally dated around 620 CE. People who suffer from mental illness, anxiety, and depression prayed to Saint Damphina. Certain Christians pray to over 10,000 different deified saints. And a deity is a god, a lowercase g. You want to split hairs now? A lowercase g, a deity, deified saints are not monotheistic, right? So with these deified saints, Christians cannot be monotheistic. Tell me you don't got, well, you may not, but Christians do, Catholics do. And then tell me the Catholics are not Christians. Although following pagan polytheistic traditions as the Catholic Church formed and came under state control by the Roman Empire. Tell me that that ain't true. Tell me that I'm not presented you with historical facts and evidence. The practice of praying to more than one God was rationalized as Christian monotheism. That's what they did to rationalize their crimes against the so-called barbarians, the people who were different from them, the people who they were raping and pillaging. Cyril of Jerusalem in 350 CE said that Christians asked patriarchs, prophets, apostles, and martyrs for intercession. You didn't mention intercession, right? So you have these Catholics or Christians and all these people praying to these other deities or gods, whatever you want to call them, for intercession. And that is from guidecatholic.com. Nonetheless, praying to these different individuals for intercession does not adhere to the formal definition of true monotheism. And it does not pray to for family, marriage, and relationship well-being. Saint Joseph, his birthplace is not recorded in the Gospels. Patrons wanting to be good workers and fathers and to have a strong family structure, pray to Saint Joseph. Pray to Saint Joseph. Christians praying to saints and angels for intercession does not conform to true monotheism. Pray to for family, marriage, and relationship well-being. Saint Monica, Monica of Hippo, born in 332 CE and died in 387 CE, also written as Monica, was an early North African Christian saint and the mother of Saint Augustine. She is prayed to, right? Christians should only be praying to God, not no saints, not no angels, not no ancestors. She is prayed to for resolving marital difficulties and for having enhanced conversations with loved ones. Saint Anne, Virgin Mary's mother, exact date of birth and death are unknown. Saint Joachim, Virgin Mary's father, born around 75 BCE in Nazareth and died around 18 BCE in Jerusalem. Both are prayed to. They're praying to these things. They're praying to these deities and these so-called gods, not God with a big G, the creator of universes, when patrons want to be better grandparents and to have closer unifying family ties. Saint Valentine, born around 225 CE, but was martyred on February 14th, 269 or 270 CE. He is the patron saint of love and engaged couples to whom many prayers are given to nurture relationships. You shouldn't even, don't pray to no Saint Valentine. No, that ain't what monotheists do. Claiming that Kemetic King Akhenaten, beneficial to the Aten, was a precursor to Moses does not make Christianity monotheistic. Famous Christians who claimed Akhenaten was the first monotheist. Several prominent Christian thinkers and apologists have advanced the idea that King Akhenaten, Amenhotep the fourth, was the first to promote monotheism, often linking his Atenism to the origin of Judaism and, by extension, Christianity. Akhenaten ruled from approximately 1353 BCE to 1336 BCE during the 18th dynasty of the New Kingdom, Kemet. He was the son of Amenhotep III and Queen Tai. Josh McDonald, in evidence that demands a verdict and related talks, McDonald mentions Akhenaten as a historical example of monotheism emerging independently. So all of these definitions, here is a scholar, and the scholar is pointing to Akhenaten, and I'm telling you that Akhenaten wasn't a monotheist, right? So mincing words and offering You're not offering real facts and evidence. You're sourcing the Bible and saying that the Bible is your fact and your evidence, and then you're saying that I got a circular argument. Okay, so you have biblical history, and then you have real history and real evidence, which I'm presenting you with. Ravi Zacharias frequently referenced Akhenaten in lectures as a king who worshipped one God. So Akhenaten didn't even worship one God. Amenhotep the fourth didn't even worship one God. He wasn't trying to eradicate polytheism. Biblical archaeology and apologistic authors such as those from the Biblical Archaeological Society have discussed Akhenaten's monotheism in the context of its possible influence on Moses and Israelite religion. These discussions are often framed in ways that resonate with Christian theology, in emphasizing the uniqueness of the one God, and that's from the Biblical Archaeological Society. Patterning certain Christian aspects of their belief system after King Akhenaten and Akhenism and the Atenism does not make Christians monotheistic. Sigmund Freud. Although Freud was not a Christian, his 1939 work Moses and Monotheism was widely read by Christian apologists. I think you are a Christian apologist, I think so, and influenced Christians' thought on the subject. Freud argued that if the Exodus story is historical, Moses was an Atenist priest in Akhenaten's court, forced to flee after the king's death. He claimed Moses carried Akhenaten's one God doctrine to the Israelites, making Akhenaten the pioneer of monotheism. But Akhenaten wasn't a monotheist. That's from History Defined. And so these definitions they're not absolutely correct, and you're mincing words between what's a deity and a God and the supreme God, and what you're trying to mince words and telling me I'm presenting you with a circular argument. Christian Publishing House. Christian apologist. The Christian Publishing House blog explicitly cites Freud's theory on and presents it as part of Christian apologetics. They note that Akhenaten's religious revolution, shifting Kemet from polytheism to exclusive worship of the sun disk Aten, has been considered by some Christians as a precursor to Israelite monotheism. And that's from Christian Publishing House blog. And that analogy is incorrect. Kemetic King Akhenaten was not truly monotheistic, and neither Christians. Akhenaten's religion was not truly monotheistic. Akhenaten religious reforms in the 14th century BCE centered on worshiping Aten, the sun disk, as the only God, but this was not fully developed.
2 minutes.
Personal devotion or public worship. As mentioned in the great hymn to the Aten, Akhenaten declared himself the sole link to Aten. Akhenaten also severed relationships with the disk and disrupted the traditional role of priest and the public in religious life. Synonym, a connection to what was previously known through the priesthood of Amun. This meant worship was almost entirely dependent on his personal relationship with God, which was inaccessible to most Kemetu, or the people of Kemet. In a similar vein, the new capital, Amarna, was remote and politically isolated, limiting its appeal synonym. Amenhotep the fourth, Akhenaten was not truly monotheistic. Donald B. Redford, author of Akhenaten, the Heretic King, uses inscriptional evidence to show that Akhenaten's erasure overwhelmingly targeted Amun, his name, and associated deities Mut and Kansu. If Akhenaten was a true monotheist, all gods would have been erased, not selectively targeted in some cases. Amun's erased image was replaced by another god other than Aten. Other gods, Ptah, Hathor, Tahuti, Osir, Bes, Taureth, were not systematically attacked, however. In many temples, the name Amun was removed, but other divine names were left intact. Redford states Akhenaten religious revolution was not monotheism, but a political and theological attack on the Amun's priesthood. In cases where Amun's erased image was replaced by another god other than Aten, proves that the campaign was anti-Amun priesthood and not anti-polytheism. Kemetic
That
King,
is time. Finish your thought.
Kemetic King Akhenaten may have been the first to promote monotheism. The definition and contemporary understanding says that he, and by extension Christians, are not in fact monotheistic, however. Akhenaten's feud with the
All right.
priesthood
That is time. That is time. Let me remove Steve's screen. Let me reset the clock. 15 minutes, and y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. This is everybody's favorite part of the show. This is the chin check session. This is where the superstars of the Worldview Wars Debate League go mano a mano. I get out of the way. This is where they have 12 minutes to chin check their opponent. This is where they will basically interrogate one another for a 12-minute time period. They got 12 minutes to ask their opponent as many questions as they can. Now, because Himmy is the affirmative, he went first in the round section. That means he will go second in the chin check session. So that means Steve will be asking Himmy questions first. Now, again, this is how the chin check works. They are mano a mano. I am only here to make sure things progress. So if it gets stagnant, I will intervene. But I got to get out my little handy piece of paper. Let me write down my man's initials. Let me write down Big Himmy's initials, because each of you have a timeout. Whether you use them or not is completely up to you, but you do have 3 times, 3 opportunities to stop your time. Now, again, it's your time to control, not mine. I can't control it for you. I'm not here to control it for you. It is your time to manage. If it gets stagnant and I notice it, I will intervene and tell y'all to move it along, ask a question, answer a question, etc. But it's up to you to manage your time, because there are tactics in this thing. The person being asked the questions can stall. They can try to get caught up in a back and forth, start trying to have a debate rather than ask the question, etc., etc. Y'all know by now how this thing goes. So it is up to the person asking the questions to control their time. Now, what I'm going to do, because I have to go pay a water bill, is I am going to play a quick video, and then I'm going to take care of my business, pay this water bill, and then we are going to get this chin check session going. Family, please bear with us. I apologize. I am a man of a certain age, and I can only hold it for so long. That being said, man, listen, shout out to all the brothers making their 8-9 hour videos about your boy. Like I said, listen, I can't help it if I look good, smell good, and can dance all night long. Like, shout out to the nature boy, Ric Flair, and all the other wrestlers with all their killer promos that keep giving me all the ammunition to keep going back at these haters. Shout out to the brother CM Punk for coining this phrase you're gonna hear in this top 10 video. But tomorrow, this is what y'all can look forward to. This was night 1 of Last Argument Stand, and this is what y'all can look forward to tomorrow night.
There can be only one.
Worldview Wars! 6 walk in, 1 walks out. There can be only one. Yeah. run, nowhere to hide. 3-minute rounds, every second counts. Truth gets tested when the pressure mounts. Random topics, no time to prepare. Sink or swim, better meet us there. One judge watching every single move. Win this battle or you've got nothing to prove. No second chances, no replay tonight. One mistake, you're out of the fight. There can be only one. Stand your ground until it's done. One by one they fade away. Only one survives the day. Fight for the gold, fight for the name. Debate mania's calling. Remember that name. Every argument forged in the fire. Every contender climbing higher. Single elimination, everything's real. Every word becomes another weapon to wield. No excuses, no looking back. Every debate is a full-on attack. Last one standing earns the right to chase championship gold beneath the lights. Clock keeps ticking, 3 minutes go. Random resolution steal the show. Affirmative, negative, doesn't matter now. Only one survivor takes the final bow. Pressure on, better hold your nerve. Championship moments have to be earned. Debate many are waiting at the end of the road. One walks in with the shot at the goal. There can be only one will overcome. 6 contenders, one remains. Victory written through the pain. Raise the crown, raise it.
Hated by losers is the price I pay for not being one of them.
Funny how everybody loved to debate, till the judges say they lost. Funny how everybody claimed they want smoke, till the scorecards come across.
My name is my name.
Everybody gangster when the verdict go their way. Taking victory laps, posting on social media all day. But let them catch an L, now the judges all corrupt. Now the rules wasn't fair, now the platform messed up. When you won, it was justice. When you lost, it was rigged. When the spotlight was on you, man, you danced a little jig.
Funny how the narrative changes overnight. You a scholar on Monday, by Tuesday ready to fight.
Y'all don't want accountability, you want applause. Want championship treatment without championship flaws. See, debate ain't about feelings, it's about evidence, argument, and skill. Sometimes you climb the mountain,
Sometimes you fall down the hill. You want it to be one way,
but it's the other way.
but it's the other way.
When you win, it's all love.
When you lose, it's another day. You want it to be one way,
But it's the other way.
the same judges you praised last month ain't fair today. You want it to be one way,
But it's the other way.
the facts don't bend for feelings, no matter what you say. My name, my name.
The hate got me laughing. It really tell the story. If the platform wasn't working, why they obsessed with my glory? Every week somebody got an opinion to proclaim, but they still tune in faithfully. That's re-promotion of the name. Paradigm shift, TV 314 still standing, while critics in the comments keep demanding and demanding. See the infamous perspective, giving viewpoints room to breathe. The black church files digging deeper than was seen. The Himmy takeover, bringing coaches to the floor. The GT perspective, asking questions they ignore. Here you get many choices. Ladies' night, giving divas voices. Different minds. Different paths, different truth. Reaching the elders and the youth. But it's the other way.
You said the platform needed you, but somehow you still stayed.
Yeah.
You wanted to be one way,
But it's the other way.
the show keeps moving forward.
The price I pay for being hated by losers, for not being one of them. Listen, man, it's Paradigm Shift TV, y'all. Steve, the clock is set at 12 minutes. Time will start when you start asking your questions, brother.
Okay. So is God a person?
God is three persons.
God is three persons. How many persons is God? How many persons? What are these three persons in God?
Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
What did the Father create?
What?
What did the Father create?
The world.
Okay, only the world?
What you mean only the world?
Only the earth, only the world. Did the Father only create the world?
He created all things.
In existence.
Yeah.
All universes.
I don't know how many universes you are.
All multiverses.
I don't.
What's the other God? One God is God the Father, the creator of universes. What's the other God?
There's only one God. You asked me
You said
how many persons
they're three
is
in one.
God.
They're 3 in 1. They're 3 in 1, my brother. They're 3 in 1.
You
So
asked
it's
me
God the
how
Father,
many-
the creator of universes.
Can I ask
What's
you-
the other one?
are you gonna
Even
allow
if
me
it's
to
the
answer
same
your
one, what's
questions,
the
or you
other
gonna
one?
keep talking?
What's the other category for
Go
the
ahead,
other
talk,
one,
man.
brother?
I won't-
What's the
that's
other
fine. You can talk.
category for the other
You can talk.
one?
You can talk. I didn't
What's
hear your
the-
question because I'm trying to answer
That
your
is my question.
You talking
That is
over
my
me.
question.
I didn't
What's
hear
the
it
other
because I was
category for the
asking
other
another-
God or deity? What is the other
What?
category?
What is the other category of what?
For you said the God is. You said there are 3 of them. You did say there are 3 of them, my
I didn't
brother.
say there are 3.
We
I said
could
3
roll that
persons.
tape. We could roll that tape.
I said 3 persons. You
I ain't
asked me
tripping.
your
You
first
said there are 3
question
of them.
was how many
Pause.
persons?
Pause. Okay, so how many
That was
persons? So
you
that okay. So 3 persons, right? So God,
Yes.
and you're saying that God is a person. The creator of
You said
universes is
how
a
many
person.
persons is God? You said is God
Are
a person?
you
I said,
saying?
listen, fam.
Let me
Can I
clarify.
answer
Let me
you?
clarify. Let me clarify. Okay, let me clarify. Are you saying that God, the creator of universes, is a person?
These
Yes or
3
no?
persons. I said that
Okay,
the
okay,
first
okay,
time you
okay.
asked me.
So you're saying that God, the creator of universes, is a person, right? And then
3
I define.
persons. I said that.
Okay,
How many
is a
times I got
person. The
these
creator of
1,
universes.
2,
The creator of
3
universes
persons?
is a person. I got you. I got you. So who is the other person? Who is the other person?
What do you mean? Who is the other person?
You said we're talking about people here. We're talking about a person. So
I didn't
one
say
person
people.
is
I didn't say
God,
shit
the
about
creator of
people.
universes.
No, I didn't.
Who is the
You're
other
lying.
person?
You're lying. I didn't say that.
But you just said that.
I didn't say-
You
You
just said
asked
that.
me a
Roll the
question.
tape. Roll the tape. You
is
said a
God,
person.
You said is God a person? I
Right.
answered you. I said he's 3 persons.
Okay,
You
so
said
one of those
who are the
persons is God. Or
Listen.
God is all 3 of
Yeah,
those
who are
people.
the persons?
Hold on.
Please.
So God, the creator of universes, is all 3 of those people, right? So one of them is God,
I
the
didn't say
creator of
shit about
universes.
people.
Who's the
I didn't
other
say
one?
shit about
Who's the
people. I
other
didn't say shit
one?
about people.
Who's the
I
other
didn't say
one?
shit about people.
Who's the
I didn't say
other
shit
one, my
about people.
brother?
I didn't say
Come
shit
on,
about
get it
people.
out. Get it out. You can find the
trying to
word. What's the other one,
Notice
my
that he's
brother?
not letting me answer his questions. I didn't say nothing about people. You asked me, is God a person? I said yes. You said how many? I said 3 persons. Now you're switching from persons to who's this other people. I didn't say
Pause.
shit about people. You introduced people to the conversation.
Stop. So one person, whatever. One of them is God. What's the other
One
one?
God. That is
But you
one
said
God.
3 persons. I'm asking you, what's the other person? You're not answering my question. These are
One
your
God.
words. What's the
How
other
many persons?
person? What's the other person, Big Himmy? My
said,
dude?
you
What's the
asked
other
me this
one?
already. I said Father, Son,
Okay, the Son. So
Holy
the Son is a
Spirit.
person. The Son is a person, right? So the Son is a person. Where did the Son gestate? Where did the Son gestate? You know what gestation is? Where did it spend 9 months, my brother? If they're the same person, so God was within itself. So
The
Jesus was
Bible
inside
teaches
God
that
and
the
God was
Son
inside
is
you.
eternal.
They were inside of
The
each other, right,
Bible
my brother?
teaches that the Son is eternal, fam. What are you
Eternal.
talking
So
about?
it was inside Virgin Mary for eternity. It wasn't. He wasn't in there for 6
That's not
months.
what I
He was in there
said.
for
I didn't
eternity.
say
That's
that.
what you're
What,
saying?
are you okay? I
Yeah.
didn't say that he was
Okay. So what
inside of
are you
Mary
saying?
for
What are
eternity.
you
I
saying?
said the Bible teaches that the Son is eternal.
Okay. 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 So the Bible, right? The Bible, is it an academic source? Is the Bible based on belief or is it based on academia?
I didn't claim that the Bible was an academic source. That's a non sequitur. What is wrong with you? Can you ask me questions pertaining to the
I did ask you a
resolution,
question.
please?
I asked you a question. Now you're
I
saying
know,
that
but
the
can you
Bible
ask
is
me
not
something that
academic.
pertains to the
So the
resolution?
Bible is not academic. So granted. So which
I
means that
didn't just
you're
use
functioning,
academic sources.
my
Deal
brother,
with
which
the
means that
Britannica.
you're functioning on
Deal
belief.
with the
You're
Encyclopedia of
functioning on
Christianity.
belief. You're
Those are
functioning on
academic
belief.
sources.
And you said that God the Father is one person, the other person is God the
No,
Son.
No, I didn't. No, I
Who is
didn't.
the
I
other
didn't say. I
person, my
said
brother?
God
We
is.
could
I
we could
said
go this,
God
we
is
could do this
super.
all night. Who's the other person?
That's fine. It's
Who's
your
the other
time.
person? Where did that
I,
other person spend 6 months? Did that other person
it's
pass through a
who?
birth
What are you
canal?
talking? I
If
just
they're the
told you
same person,
the
does God
Bible
pass
teaches
through a
that
birth
the
canal? Did
Father,
God pass
Son,
through
and
a birth
Holy
canal?
Spirit are eternal.
Now we got a Holy Spirit. I ain't even gonna go into no spirit, right? See, I left that alone because that's
Left
not
what alone?
that would make me seem kind of strange, kind of off. Now we talking about spirits here, and you were saying I'm gonna talk about the Trinity. I ain't bring up no Trinity, my brother. So you're saying that
You
God, the
brought
Father, the
up
Son, and
the
the Holy
deity
Spirit
of Christ. What are
are
you talking about?
the same person based on what it says in the Bible, and the Bible is not factual. The Bible is not historical, right?
Again, I
Anyway,
touched
and
on
you're
that
right.
in my
You're not being
round.
academic.
Whether you believe the Bible is true or not is the discussion. Is not the
I didn't
discussion.
say it's
It's
true.
whether
I
or
didn't
not
say it was true or
Christianity is
false. I did
monotheistic.
not
I
say the
don't care
Bible was
what you
true.
feel
I
about the
did not say
Bible.
the Bible was false. Also, you mentioned Elohim. What does Elohim have to do with anything?
You said, what does it have to do with anything?
Yeah, I ain't
I
mentioned no
mentioned that
Elohim.
as
I didn't say
common
nothing about no
objections.
Elohim.
I didn't say you said anything. I said I mentioned
No,
that
you
as common
assuming that
objections.
I was going to bring up the
I
Elohim.
said
I
it's
didn't bring up no Elohim.
I didn't assume nothing. I mentioned it as common objections to Christianity's monotheism.
Okay, it's the deity of God, my brother. Big Hemmy,
What
it's the deity of God.
is a deity of God?
Yes, my
Clarify your
brother.
question. Clarify your question. What do you mean
Okay,
by that? Is a deity of God?
so my brother, Big Hemmy, we're trying to establish here that when you said three persons, right? So one of those persons is God, the supreme creator being, right? The creator of all things. That's one person. Then what I'm trying to clarify here, I ain't even trying to help you. I'm just saying that a deity, what is a deity? I'm asking you, what is a deity?
What is a deity
Outside of this God creator, supreme creator being. What is a deity, my brother?
Many things can be deified, bro.
Such as,
It
such
doesn't
as,
equal the supreme.
for
It
example,
doesn't equal the supreme God.
what
Money
can
can be
what can be
deified.
deified, my brother? What can be
Money can be
deified?
deified.
Huh?
That's what idolism is.
Okay, what else?
Money. I just
Money?
asked you.
No, no, no. Okay,
Cars,
okay. So
clothes,
money can be
hoes.
deified. Okay, fine. Do
Many
people
things
pray
can be
for money?
deified.
Do people pray for money?
Yes.
Okay, then if you're a monotheist, you shouldn't be praying for money because you just said money can be deified. So when you pray for money,
What
you're
do you
praying to a deity. You're praying to an idol. These are your words,
No,
my brother.
that's not a.
So,
What are you
so
talking
you're
about?
correct.
You said
Anything can be a
people. What does
deified.
that have to do with
Anything can be.
the
These
resolution
are
with
your
whether or
words.
not
It's the
Christianity
same
is
way that you're
monotheistic?
mincing words
People,
between God
listen, a
and what is a God and
generalization
what's
of
not a God.
people does not equal.
All right, so
Bro,
anything could
you
be a
asked me,
deity,
do
my brother.
people
Anything
pray
can be
for
a
money?
deity, including money. And Christians pray
Oh,
for money. Christians pray
I
for
didn't
money,
say
so which means
Christian. You
Christians
said
pray to idols,
people.
which means that
Yeah.
Christians are not monotheistic. All right.
Okay. Prove that. How do you prove that?
You just
Praying
proved
for.
it for me. You just
No, I
proved it
didn't.
for
No, I
me.
didn't. You're just
Yes,
making
you did.
statements. You're not proving anything.
You just proved it for me.
What is
Anyway, what
monotheism?
speaks louder?
Belief in
What
one
speaks
God.
louder, my brother? What speaks louder? Action or words?
What? What does that have to
What
do with the resolution?
speaks louder? Actions
What does
or
that have to
words?
do with the resolution? Can you ask me
Okay,
something,
you're not,
please?
so you're not going to answer me what speaks louder, action or words? You're not going to answer that.
What? I don't know. Actions don't speak. What do you mean? Actions
Okay,
don't have
so
vocal cords.
you're not sure if action speaks louder than words,
Actions
right?
don't have vocal
So
cords.
when these Christian priests and also the Christians, conquistadors and soldiers. And when they were robbing the melanated people of their land, and they're monotheistic Christians, so to speak, right? So those are their words, right? They're preaching from the Bible and telling you I'm a monotheistic Christian. But what are their actions saying? What are they really? Who are they really following? Who were they really following? Were they following the God, the Creator, or your so-called whatever you don't want to name them, or are they you named the Holy Spirit? Which one were they following? Were they following the Holy Spirit, or were they following God, the Creator, when they were doing that? Since they're monotheistic, which one were they following?
Can I answer a question? Or are you just gonna keep rambling?
I'm waiting.
Can I answer a question, please?
I'm done. Answer.
Okay. So when you keep bringing up Catholicism and their practices, are you saying that someone disobeying God means that they believe in more than one God?
That's not what I'm saying, my brother. I'm asking
So
you.
So explain how you're jumping
following. I'm asking you who they were following. I'm asking you who they were following.
I said that, listen, I said they believe in God. That's because the resolution deals with are Christians truly monotheistic?
Right.
Monotheism is about the belief in the existence of one God, right? So
But
I'm
people
assuming
can believe whatever they want to believe. That doesn't make it fact.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Believe whatever they want to believe. Whatever words can come out their mouth, that does not make it fact. So you're harping on belief again. I ain't harping on belief.
The definition hinges on belief.
People can say what they want to say. I'm talking about fact and evidence. What does the evidence say, my brother? Who was their God when they were doing these things? Who was their God when my brother? Who was their God when they were doing these things? Who were they following, my brother? What God is that at that point? Is the devil a deity? Is the devil a deity, my brother?
No.
The devil ain't a deity. Well, okay, you can worship money. You can worship money can be a deity, but the devil ain't a deity. Is the devil an angel?
No.
The devil ain't an angel. Oh, according to your own text, the devil is a fallen angel, my brother. That's what your own text says.
What's the devil's name?
My brother, the devil, whatever, Lucifer, whatever you want to call him, is a fallen angel. I'm asking, it's an angel. Is it a deity? Are angels deities, my brother?
This is supposed to be answering questions.
I'm asking you a question. You're not answering the question. You're trying to slide down that slippery slope. You're doing a great job sliding down that slippery slope, my brother. It's time to climb up that slope. You're done at the bottom of that slippery slope.
Your time, bro.
Try to get back up, my brother. So let me recap, right? So you're saying that God is three persons. One person is this creator of universes, the creator of all things. Then the other one you don't want to name. Then the third one you're saying is this spirit, right? You're the ones bringing up this spirit. I didn't bring up no spirits, right? I mentioned the creator of universes. I mentioned angels. I mentioned saints. And I'm saying, and you also say that money can be deified.
That is time.
And Christians pray for money.
Debates are won and lost during the chin check session. Let me restart the time at 12 minutes. Big Himmy, the best biblical debater. Time will start when you start asking questions, brother.
Okay. Brother Steve, do you understand that the resolution is, are Christians truly monotheistic?
Yes.
So do we agree that the definition of monotheistic, as per the Britannica, the Encyclopedia of Christianity, and per what you brought up about the history of the term itself, is belief in one God?
Yes, but people can believe whatever they want to believe in. That's not
That's
what their
fine.
actions
That's
speak.
fine. But
Their actions say something
resolution
totally
is-
different. I could believe the sun is blue, but it's actually yellow, whatever. I believe. I clearly told you what beliefs are based on. Beliefs can be correct or incorrect. So you're functioning on something that's irrational. You're functioning on belief, not me. So you're functioning in a belief in monotheism.
The definition literally functions on belief.
You said belief, and I also clarified. I also clarified what beliefs are.
Pause my time. Please pause my time, DMG.
Time is paused at 10 minutes, 55 seconds.
All right. Now, when I start back, Steve, I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer my question. I don't want you jibber jabber doing all that. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer it. Okay?
All right, so Himmy has stopped. He has made a request. Please adhere to it. That's the point of the timeout, to adjust, recalibrate, and restart. Time will start when you start asking questions again.
Okay. So, Steve, listen to the question carefully. Monotheism, as per academia, is the belief in one God, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so your point about it being belief is non sequitur because literally the definition hinges on someone's belief, correct?
The belief can be correct or incorrect. I said that
I
from
didn't
the
ask you
beginning.
that.
Yes,
Does
yes.
the definition
Wrong
itself
beliefs. Wrong
hinge on
beliefs.
the word belief?
Wrong beliefs.
Yes or no?
Incorrect beliefs. Yes.
I didn't ask you whether they're wrong or not. That's not what the
Yes,
resolution
incorrect
is asking.
beliefs.
It's not asking whether it's true or
Yes,
not.
incorrect beliefs.
Okay, that's fine. So, did I demonstrate that Christians believe in one God with
No.
scriptures from the Old?
No.
I didn't. I didn't
No.
bring up Deuteronomy 6 and 4. I didn't bring up
You could
Isaiah
bring up what you
44.
want to believe. You could bring up what you want to bring up.
What did those scriptures say?
That doesn't
What
mean
did
that you
those
proved
scriptures all have
anything.
in common?
No, you did
What-
not. No, you
what
did
did
not. Scripture is not the scripture has a different
ask
meaning
you.
for everyone,
I'm talking
and it
about
ain't mean nothing to me.
again,
So
we're
no,
dealing
you
with
did not.
one's
It
belief.
meant nothing to me, my brother. No, you
So
did not.
All right. So how do we identify what Christians believe?
Based on their actions.
Says who? Says
Says
Steve?
me.
Okay, right. So again, so that's what I talked about in my debate. That Steve wants to talk about what he believes, what he
No,
feels.
I didn't
And
say
that is what
believe.
you're hinging
I
your
said
entire
actions
debate
speak
on.
louder than words.
Forget what
Actions speak
academia
louder than
says.
words.
Steve,
Actions
can you
speaks
be quiet
louder
for a
than
second?
words.
Can you be quiet for a second? That is what you feel. That's fine.
It's not based on
I'll
feeling,
give you
my
that.
brother. It's
That's
based
how
on
you feel.
historical
Steve.
fact and evidence. It's based on
Okay,
historical
so
fact
the
and
historical
evidence.
fact is that a Christian theologian coined the term monotheism, right or wrong.
Whatever his name is, Thomas Henry Moore. Yeah, he okay. So what?
So
He's a Caucasian. He's a Caucasian
the reason that
Christian
the word exists.
colonizer. He's a Caucasian
I didn't
Christian
ask you, why
colonizer
are you
with
attacking
an
the man?
agenda. Also,
Why
a
are you attacking
Caucasian
the man?
colonizer coined the
Why are
phrase
you attacking the man?
polytheism with an agenda. These people
Why are
have
you-
an agenda,
Why
just
are
like
you
you have
attacking
an
the man?
agenda, my brother.
It's his agenda was stated. So
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you that he had an agenda. His
Yeah.
agenda that was stated was to explain the Christians' belief and worship in their one God.
Who
right?
said that? Who said that? That woman you said she said that. How does she know? Was she there with him? Where did he write that down? How does she know his
What do you
reason for
mean?
coining this
So
phrase?
academia
How'd she
doesn't
know?
count. So you didn't
I
want
ain't
me to
say
use
that.
the Bible.
You didn't provide.
So
You
when
provided that
the
source.
encyclopedia,
Did you
listen,
provide a source with quotes?
Yes,
quote-
I did.
A
I
quote
did.
where
I
he's
actually had
saying that.
quotation
A
marks.
quote
Did you
where
pay
he's
attention?
saying that. A quote where
No, I didn't say.
Henry Moore is saying that.
Lynn,
That Henry Moore
she.
said that. You didn't provide that, my brother. And if you did,
I
it wasn't
did
big
provide
enough
it.
for nobody
I
to
did
read.
provide it. It's come from the Encyclopedia of Christianity, which
My
is
brother,
an academic
you
source.
mentioned
I
some
stated
lady.
that.
Yeah.
What?
You
Okay,
mentioned
so
some lady, and
whether
then you
you
said that's
disagree
why
or
he
not,
came up with
okay,
that word. Yeah.
Steve. Are you ready for the next question?
Sure.
So
Let's
we
move on.
established that the Christian theologian is the one who coined the term monotheism, and we clarified his intent
Where was
behind
he
coining
from?
the word.
He was
right?
from England. Was
I
England
didn't
a
ask you where
colonial
he was
empire?
from.
Was England a
Steve,
colonial
listen
empire?
carefully. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Let me check in with you. Are you okay? That's number one.
Check in with the
Okay.
clock, my
All
brother.
right. So now can you proceed to answer questions that deal with the resolution?
I don't know what his intent was. I don't know what his belief was. He coined the phrase. I don't know what his
His
intent
intent
was.
is stated.
Who stated
So
it?
you don't.
Who stated
Okay.
it?
So you claim that you don't. Judges, I want y'all to notice. Steve just claimed that he don't know what
What's
his
your question?
intent
What's
was.
your question, my
In
brother?
his
Don't
first
speak
round,
for me.
Steve,
Don't
be
speak
quiet.
for me. What's your question?
Steve, be
Next
quiet.
question. The clock is
Steve, be
ticking. You got
quiet.
6 minutes,
I asked you
42
a
seconds.
question.
The
I
clock is
asked you, did
ticking.
we
The clock is
clarify-
ticking. The
Steve,
clock is
I know
ticking.
the clock is ticking. I asked you to clarify that we established that he coined the word and what his intent was for coining the word. You
How
just
can you
stated
know
with
his
your own
intent?
mouth,
How you know
and
his
you
intent?
don't know what his
One
intent
scholar
was.
said
So
that's
that
his
would mean
intent.
that
She
you
don't know.
lied
She
in
wasn't
your
there.
first round when you
You don't
claimed
know
that
what
his
his intent
intent.
was.
You
You do
did. You
not know
claimed
what
that
his
his
intent
intent
was.
was to refute polytheism. That was
Really?
from your round. Did you not
No,
state
that was
that?
a different one, my brother. That wasn't
Did
Henry
you
Moore. That
not
was the
state
other
that?
one. That
You
was
claimed that he did it. I can
De
pull it up.
Quincy. That was Thomas De
DMG, do we
Quincy,
have the ability
right?
to put up
That was Thomas De Quincy. That wasn't Henry Moore. That was
screenshots?
Thomas De Quincy.
Pause my time, DMG.
Time is stopped at 5 minutes 55 seconds.
I paused my time to ask you a clarifying question, not to get got it. Are we allowed to put up screenshots?
Who's
No.
Not
doing
doing the chin check, no sir.
Okay, cool. So
But I
we
do
all
want
right.
to
So
say,
cool. Now you can start.
I do want
All
to say this. So, this is for Steve and for Himmy. It's 5 minutes 55 seconds left. Y'all doing a lot of talking over each other. I don't know if the chat. I know I can't. It's definitely hard to keep up with the conversation and to understand what's being asked, what's being answered, et cetera, et cetera. From this point on, 5 minutes and 55 seconds left. Let's ask the question. Let's answer the question. Time starts when you start asking.
Okay, so again, Steve, we already clarified who Henry Moore is and his role in the defining monotheism and coining the term, right? Then I said what Lynn said his tent was in the Encyclopedia of Christianity. You said we don't know that. So I asked you, did you know his intent? You said, no, I don't know his intent. But in your round, did you not state that his intent was to go against polytheism?
No, my brother. That was
You did it?
Philo, my brother. That was Philo.
I
That
didn't
wasn't
ask you
Henry
about
Moore. That was Philo.
Philo was the reason for polytheism. You said that Henry specifically coined monotheism in order to go against polytheism. That was indeed in your round. You forgot, or did you not do your slides yourself?
I didn't. My brother, ain't nobody make my slides for me. I made my own slides.
I'm just clarifying because
I never said that.
So if you don't know, so again, so now we understand that
I never said that Henry Moore coined the phrase monotheism to dispute polytheism. I never said that. I did not say that.
You didn't say that verbatim. You didn't say that verbatim.
But then you're implying something that I ain't say, and you've been doing that all along, trying to put words in my mouth. It ain't working too good, my brother. I know how to talk.
So what was your statement in reference to Henry Moore and the reason for him using monotheism? Explain it to us now.
I'll tell you straight. He came up because he was a colonizer. They do this to rationalize their behaviors. They do this to rationalize their actions. So they coined their phrase to make it seem like if they're good and pure. But really that's not what their intent. What they were doing was not good and pure. They weren't following this one and only God. They were following some other deity that told them to rape, pillage, and kill the indigenous people, the melanated people, and take their land. That's who they were following.
So his intent was to refute the exact claims that you made later on, show you that regardless of the deity of Christ, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, the Trinitarian, and all of that, that we Christians believe in one God. Right? So that's why monotheism was created, to say that we believe in one God, right? That was his intent.
My brother also mentioned Akhenaten, whom...
I didn't ask you about Akhenaten. I asked you about Henry Moore.
Okay. Akhenaten preceded
his
Henry
intent
Moore.
in creating
I don't
the
know
term
his intent.
was
You're saying that's his intent. You're saying that's his intent.
No, you just said that was his intent.
I said his intent was different, my brother. I said his intent was for him to rationalize their behavior. That's what I said his intent was.
Right. You said their behaviors wasn't good, so he coined the term to excuse their behavior, to make it believe like they were worshiping and believing in one God. That's what you just said, right? Okay, so he coined the term so that people can understand that Christians believe in one God.
To justify their crimes. To justify their crimes.
Fam, notice the concession. I don't know if he's realizing he's concession, audience and judges, but he keeps saying that this guy coined the term in order to Identify to the people that Christians believe in one God. You
Believe.
acknowledge that.
Believing
And you're
don't make
saying
it
that
fact.
because their actions
Believing
didn't
don't make it fact,
listen,
my
Steve.
brother.
So that's not a fact?
Believing
Okay.
don't make it fact, my brother.
Okay.
You keep
So you
harping on
spent
belief.
your second round.
Belief don't make it
let me
fact,
ask
my
you one
brother.
question. That's fine. The term is literally based on belief, right?
But it's not factual.
I didn't ask you, does it say factual belief?
It says
2
belief, and I'm
minutes.
telling you
2
the belief is
minutes.
not
Okay.
factual.
So
Beliefs
the
can be
belief is
factual,
what's
but
up.
that belief is not factual. Beliefs can be
when
factual,
we're
but
dealing
that
with
belief ain't factual.
So when
I've been
we're
saying
dealing
that.
with, it doesn't say whether it has to be factual.
So that one God told Henry Moore and those other Christians to do what they did. That one God told them to do that.
Again, so we're dealing with belief. He started with belief. He explained the Christian belief and saying that we are monotheistic because we believe in one God, regardless of what you may say in regards to our actions. That's what Henry Moore did, correct?
The Nicene Creed also says something similar. Okay.
So you're identifying that this man that coined the term literally said that Christians believe in one God, right?
You could believe whatever you want to believe. That don't make it fact.
Okay, so the debate has nothing to do with whether or not Steve believes
yes, it does.
it's
The
true
word
or not.
the word truly is in there. Beliefs ain't true. A belief can be true or it could not be
Where's
true.
the word
truly,
in the definition of
truly monotheistic, my brother. Truly monotheistic. It ain't in there. Truly
So how do you know what
monotheistic. So
monotheistic
beliefs are
is?
true? You gonna tell me
Okay,
beliefs are
I
true?
give you that. I give you that. So how do you know what monotheistic is?
Give me that. Me taking that. Me gonna take that, my brother.
I'm saying, how do you know what monotheistic is?
What?
How do you know what monotheistic is?
My brother, notice you're trying to harp on pure monotheism, but monotheism is broken down even further, right?
How do you know what monotheism is, Steve?
How do I know what it is?
Yes, because you're saying truly.
I guess because you're saying that Christians are monotheistic. You're saying Christians are truly monotheistic, which they're not.
Right.
Christians are not truly monotheistic.
Thank you.
And you got to give me that.
Thank
You
you
gave
for my
me that.
time.
That is time. That is time. Debates in Worldview Wars Debate League are won and lost during the chin check session. Great chin checks by both brothers. Appreciate it. I am going to reset the clock for 3 minutes so these brothers can close out. We are going to open it up for the chat. After the closeout, for just a little while, we ain't gonna take too many people. The results show the fallout will be this Thursday. We want to give the judges an opportunity to watch the debate 2 or 3 times if necessary. The fallout will be this Thursday, and we will find out if Big Himmy retain the Worldview Wars Debate League social media title, or if we have a new champion in the Kemet Infomonger, Mr. Cab. Now, will either of you be sharing your screen during your 3-minute closeout?
I'll be sharing mine.
No, I won't.
All right, Mr. Cab, let me share your screen. Time will start. Let me get that banner off. Just have to remind everybody, debates are won and lost during the chin check session. And of course, being hated by losers is the price I pay for not being one of them. Time will start when you start reading, my brother. You got 3 minutes on the clock.
All right, let's go. Conclusion: the infomongers fade. Debating from the negative position, negative position that answers the question, are Christians in fact monotheistic? I fulfilled the task at hand. I presented valid historical evidence that supports and confirms my stance. Christians are not truly monotheistic. As a trained pedagogue, I successfully unpacked this tragedy outlined in the introduction. My methodology, again, was to craft an historical, analytical presentation that uses factual evidence to illustrate that Christians are not truly monotheistic. I made clear that the English colonizer, and he was a colonizer, Henry Moore and Thomas de Quincey coined the discriminatory terms and labels monotheism and polytheism to justify and rationalize European crimes against humanity inflicted on melanated indigenous people. In summary, as a species, let us all ascend together. I showed that the Catholic Christian Church and its adherents can claim not to be polytheistic pagans because they worship Jesus. Stemming from the Roman Catholic Empire, state-sponsored Christianity and Catholicism have the political power and wealth to write history. The story of the male conquerors who are said to be monotheistic, being indoctrinated to have faith and believe that Christians are monotheistic does not make it a true statement. The opposition has not definitively fulfilled the burden of proof by presenting factual evidence, not biblical evidence, but factual evidence that supports Christianity as truly monotheistic. I hearkened back to the 325 CE Council of Nicaea, where the concluding statement was that Jesus is a distinct person who is a separate deity from God. I say again, the deity, God, whom creationists venerate, who I venerate, cannot be nurtured in a human womb to pass through the vagina and birth canal. The creator of universes, deity, God, is not a person at all. Conversely, the deity Jesus is said to be a person who gestated in the womb before passing through the vagina of a human virgin. The pure definition of monotheism causes an internal Christian conflict. They cannot and should not worship more than one deity. Summation. My name is my name. Kemet of the infomongers. You want it to be one way, but it's the other way. Throughout history, so-called monotheism reveals itself to be more of a political power struggle for physical and material wealth accumulation than some divine need to worship only one God. I showed that Christians worship or venerate angels, which are deities based on what it occurred in Job 38, 4-7. God asked Job, where were you when I laid the earth's foundation? ... While the morning stars sang
That
to
is time. That is time,
all
but finish
the
your thought.
angels shouted for joy. This suggests that angels were created before the physical world was established. And that's from Billy Graham's Evangelistic Association.
All right. We will remove Steve's presentation. Himmy, the time has restarted at 3 minutes. I'm going to put you up on the big screen since you won't be sharing your screen. Time will start when you start talking.
All right, judges, thank you for your time. DMG, thank you for your time. Steve, thank you for your time. Everybody, I want y'all to pay attention to what just happened. One, in the Q&A, my opponent actually conceded to the point. We both acknowledge Henry Moore. We both acknowledge that Henry Moore coined the term monotheism, right? I talked about his intent, which was to describe to individuals the Christian belief in God and how they worship God in contrast to how others may worship God, right? That deals with everything that Steve is claiming in his rounds, right? Whether they're praying to a priest, praying to angels, or whatever it is that he wants to. The whole point was Henry coined the term to explain Christians' belief in one God, no matter how you look at it, right? Steve acknowledged that. Then I asked the brother, I said, Steve, do you understand what his intent was? We both acknowledge that he's the reason for the existence of the term and that the term deals with belief itself, right? Monotheism is literally defined as belief in one God. Steve said, yes. Then he said that, oh no, I don't know what his intent was, but he spent his opening, his first round and now in his closing trying to tell you what Henry Moore's intent was, and he said it was colonialism, right? So he lied. In the question and answer round, he said he didn't know what his intent was because he didn't want to give me credence for having an actual source, which is Lynn from the Encyclopedia of Christianity, who cited what his intent was, right? So he lied there, and then he proceeded to give y'all a reason or his intent for coining the term, okay? Which is a lie. That is how Steve feels. So what he did was spend his time appealing to emotion. Black people, oh, they wanted to enslave you. They wanted to rape you. They wanted to do all this. None of that answers the question on if Christians truly believe in one God. What I demonstrated in my rounds was Christians believe in one God. How that one God exists was never up for examination because that's not this debate. It's just whether or not we believe in one God, right? So I demonstrated that throughout my 2 rounds and in the question and answer round. Steve refused to answer questions. Steve refused to acknowledge his wrongdoings, and he didn't even know what he had put in his own slides. Okay? So I, as the affirmative, have met my burden to show you guys that Christians are truly monotheistic because we believe in one God. Regardless of not if Steve acknowledges whether our belief is true or false, it has nothing to do with the resolution.
That
Because
is time. Finish your thought, bro.
appreciate you. No, it doesn't have anything to do with the whether or not how Steve feels about our belief has nothing to do with the resolution. It's only about whether or not we believe in one God. And that I wrap up my time there.
All right. And I echo my brother Nathaniel's sentiments. I think this was another banger. And shout out to all the superstars of the Worldview Wars Debate League. I think we've been turning out banger after banger after banger. Even the ones, I should say, featuring Marble Mouth Molly. Gotta spit when you say that nigga name. Was a banger. That being said, look, we're about to put the link in the chat. Come up if you got a question or a comment for one of the brothers. They are not here to re-debate the debate. They just did that. They are here to either answer your question or respond to your comment. We're not going to be up here long. The brothers just put in an arduous debate. This was for the Worldview Wars Debate League social media title. Result show will be this Thursday. So make sure y'all here for it. We got none other than the Ice Smiter, Jose Francis, in the building. You got a question or comment for either your Comedic Express teammate, the Kemet Infomonger, or the best biblical debater, Big Himmy.
Well, I got a comment and a question. My comment is it was a wonderful debate, man. You had me going back and forth for a couple minutes there. But my question is to Big Hemi. Do you recognize that by saying that the founder of the term monotheism was actually a Christian philosopher, you're saying that it's not actually a Christian term?
What?
You said that the founder of the term was a Platonist Christian. So what you're saying is he believed in Greek philosophy. So that's like you're admitting that the term was not an indigenous Christian term. It came from Greek. It's actually a Greek term.
He's a Christian. So why are you denouncing his Christianity in order to make your point?
You said he was okay.
He was a Christian.
You said he was a Platonist Christian. That's what you said.
Jose, hold on. Remember, he not up here to
Sorry.
re-debate you. You asked the question,
I'm sorry.
let him answer because we got other people on the panel.
Okay, no problem. I'm done there.
Go ahead, him.
Oh no, I thought I answered him. No, I don't see how that says that it's not a Christian term because he's a Christian.
All right. Listen, we're gonna move on. I gave away 5 channel memberships. Obviously, you don't have to keep them. I'm trying to turn up the memberships as we head into debate mania. If you keep them, salute. If you don't, salute as well. That being said, I will be giving away 5 more tomorrow night and 5 more as we get closer to debate mania. That being said, listen, man, I gotta hit this right quick before I go to this brother because it been a little minute. So y'all excuse me while I act like a fan, but I gotta hit this note right quick.
Yeah. I know I got about 30 seconds to make y'all feel this before y'all turn it off these days. That I might not even release this. That I be doing this shit for me, help me get through. I feel like I give until I can't, but most don't recognize it till I ain't. Blood on them covers, she hoping paint. Sorry mama, but it ain't. This world took a toll on me, and everyone that say they love me always seem to fall on me. The same one that call me great, treat me like I ain't shit. I read between the lines, it's written all over your eyes. I see the disappointment in the eyes of the ones who want me dead, but I ain't never been scared, I tried to get there. Sometimes I wonder if I survive.
Hey man, if you know, you know. Listen, the most dangerous Bible believer in the building. What's up, bro? You got a question or comment for Big Himmy or Steve?
I just got a comment in general. Salute Steve and Big Himmy. I love both of y'all like brothers. But the comment is, when it comes to monotheism, when you go to like the Greek pantheon, it's considered polytheistic. They got one supreme deity, which is Zeus, and they got lesser deities under them, but they all work together. The minute you add more than one deity in there, it's polytheistic. You so like when the monotheistic term and all of this came about, that was at a time when Christianity only observed God. He had a son, but his son wasn't God. The minute they decided to make his son God, they turned it into polytheism. That's my opinion. That's my view on it. But shout out to the panel. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to. Forgive me. Forgive me.
For sure. Either of y'all want to respond to the most dangerous Bible believer?
What's good, Neo? How you been?
What's good, Steve?
Still making good music, Neo?
Yeah, still doing it. I'm doing it for the Lord more than anything now. I'm doing it for Yahweh, the Father. But I get what you're saying. This Christian is monotheistic. I only got one God. Neo, one love stands for O-N-E, stands for one God, one love, one life. And that's what I observe. I don't worship Jesus. Jesus is my brother. That's my big brother, but that's my brother. I got one God, and that's his God. He got one God, and that's the Father. Hallelujah, Yahweh.
All right, my brother. Peace to you. Peace to you, Neo. Keep
Peace,
making that
brother.
good music. Peace and love, my brother.
Yes, sir.
No doubt. Big Himmy, you got a question or comment for the most dangerous Bible believer?
He not that. That's all I got to say in regards to that. But them my dog.
Oh
I ain't got
man,
nothing to
Yes,
that's
say.
sir. Yes, sir. That's cold. That's cold blooded here. You're gonna have to prove that.
that cold.
You're gonna have to prove that. We're gonna have to battle for the title of most dangerous.
Yeah.
All right, listen, man. Listen, this brother is he trying to become a Worldview Wars Triple Crown champion because he going for them tandem titles, but he the longest reigning world champion in Paradigm Shift / Worldview Wars Debate League history, formerly known as the Versus Series. He also a former social media champion. Since I played Neo song, I gotta play his song too. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand. Back in
Super Pan Man, wild as the Taliban. You got a question or comment for Steve or Big Himmy?
Finally, the Pan Man is back in St. Louis. You hear me? Hey, I just wanted to say, I think it was a great debate. I feel like I could have debated both sides of this argument, but Himmy's point about the definition, that source that he pulled up, that was in Steve's debate slide, right? I think that was a killer right there, because you do need to deal with the actual definition, the origin of that definition, the etymology of the word, etc. And if it was created for the Trinity believing Christians, from a Trinity believing Christian, to defend them, that was tricky. And when it came up in the chin check round, I'm not sure if Steve was really ready to answer for that. But yeah, obviously I'm an atheist. I don't believe in none of this. And shout out to everybody. Have a nice day.
No doubt, no doubt. We got the top dog in the bar reloaded. Hey, she may not like the platform, but she gonna make sure she support her debaters. Honey Clark, you got a question or comment for Steve or Big Himmy?
That's funny. No, y'all good over here. Y'all good. Yeah, I can't really say. I'm always gonna be biased to Barbarian, so I'm gonna say he did good. I do think him like I was that question and answer round was crazy, but I think he finally did. But Steve, bro, I want to say you were so entertaining this debate. Like I love it. And you stepped up your game and you was coming at him. Like this was a really good debate. I thought you were gonna be like, I'm just gonna read some stuff. No, you was in it and I love it. I love that step up game. So I think it was a really good debate though. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, man. Listen, man. I call this brother the franchise. It's some people that call him the scholastic bully. Other people call him the devil. But over here at Worldview Wars Debate League, we just gotta say this.
The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here!
Lucifer the devil, you got a question or comment?
I got a comment for each of these brothers on VM. One for my brother Himmy. In the Q&A round, if you would have asked this brother what brand tapioca that he consumes, you would have won the debate in my eyes. Secondly, if this brother right here would have learned one word, he would have countered you, Himmy. And that word is genetic fallacy. We don't give a damn how the word originated, where it came from. A genetic fallacy is when you say, well, we're going to base everything off of the word's origin. But my brother, the Kim and Infomonger, did not even bring that up. He didn't even argue it. He stuck to his gun. I thought I heard a few good points on both sides. I'm undecided on who won, but I definitely think Himmy, if you'd have brought up that tapioca point, because that brother do look like he do consume tapioca, you would have won. VM, let's get it. Great debate.
Either of y'all want to respond to the devil?
Can I just respond? So, in my definition of monotheism, it does say the belief. And in round one, I did say clearly that a belief can be correct and incorrect. I also mentioned that, we have been indoctrinated. So those of us who are indoctrinated to think when somebody ties their belief to a faith, then they're automatically correct, that's not true. A belief can be correct or incorrect. So because somebody say they believe that they're monotheist, I'm a Hindu and I could say I believe that Hindus are monotheists. That don't make it correct. The actions speak louder than words. And praying to angels and deities and saints and ancestors, and that's what Christians do. You're not taking into consideration what Catholics do, and that's what Catholics do. That's what VM does.
All
Yeah,
right.
I think some like I was hearing that what he was saying, and Himmy was arguing it differently. So I think at sometimes that when you were saying it, Steve, it was getting lost in the because I heard you saying that, and you were like, "But that doesn't make it the fact." And he was like, "But you don't have to believe my religion is a fact." But you were saying just because you're saying monotheistic doesn't mean you are that. Like that's not the fact. Not that your belief isn't the fact. So I mean, I get it, but that's why it was hard to hear. Like when DMG stopped y'all for a minute to let y'all actually go back and forth, it kind of helped better understand y'all.
Big
Yeah,
Himmy, you want to respond to Lucifer?
Go ahead, go ahead.
yeah. And that's why I asked let me respond to him. That's why I asked the question that I asked because the definition itself is hinged on belief. So you can't dismiss the belief aspect and say whether or not it's true or false. Now you're changing the definition of the term, and that's why I was trying to make sure I made that clear in my Q&A because monotheism is the term was coined by a Christian who was dealing with belief. So whether or not you agree with that or not isn't the point. Whether or not it's factual or not isn't the point. The Christian coined the term for this particular reason. So in order to deal with if somebody is this term, you have to deal with how the term is being used, the usage of the word. And the usage of the word hinges on belief.
You want me? Can I reply? I'm
Go
not
ahead,
trying to
Shane.
relitigate this, but I'm not living in a fantasy world, right? That people are going to believe whatever they want to believe, and we live in a world that's based on fact, and evidence, right? This argument will not stand up in a court of law, right? It won't stand up in the real world. Yes, the definition says belief, but I also clarified how we have been indoctrinated as soon as somebody says belief that, oh, let's leave them alone. That's their belief, that's their faith. No, let's push the envelope and let's question their belief. Why are you believing this? Is this belief based on any facts and evidence? And the evidence says otherwise. When we look, well, not specifically, I would agree with what Neo said. But I don't fault people because they pray to Jesus. But in the chin check, I also asked him about, he said three persons. He said one is God the Father, but then he wouldn't say the other one. Then he mentioned the Holy Spirit. And because I said people, he goes back to persons. But guess what? People are persons. And God is the creator being, the supreme creator being is not a person, my brother. That's not a person. It didn't go into the Virgin Mary's womb to come through the birth canal. That's your Lord and Savior who did that. So clearly they're not the same person.
All right. We're going to go back. Oh, but we got the champ, the master of arguments champion in Worldview Wars Debate League. None other than the pseudo hunter himself, Hey Rue Conscious in the building. Who you got a question or comment for?
Wanted to just jump on. I wanted to congratulate Bro Brothers, man. I was really entertained with this one. I was definitely jotting down some things because y'all was quoting some quite a few things that I wasn't really aware of, right? So especially from like sources I was quoting. So I want to definitely take a look at some of that and maybe do an in-depth study, in future tense on that. So I appreciate both y'all brothers, man, for getting out here. Y'all rocking it out. Ain't nobody lose composure. Both brothers like really brought the heat as expected. I look forward to seeing y'all both doing great things in the near future. So thank you,
Hey, Rue.
brother. Thank you,
Hey,
DMG, for hosting this. Yes, sir.
hey, to quote my uncle, man, these debates keep getting betterer and betterer, brother. I think
Man, brother, listen, the buildup.
Easy Bands and Nate might have some competition for that debate of the year, bro.
Oh man, listen, I see it bubbling now, like peroxide. For
Yeah,
real.
man.
Listen, a lot of these divisions is filling up faster than what we thought they would be. We're gonna have to facilitate these debates and things like that. And so yeah, you're absolutely right, bro. A lot of it's not limited competition anymore. It's a bigger scope. And I just appreciate the fact that these guys is on fire and they ready to go. So, as long as they ready to go, I'm ready to shoot. Let's do it.
All right, I'm gonna go back around one more time. Jose Francis, you got another question or comment?
Well, my comment is I'm rooting for Steve. I want to see Steve win that belt. I think that he made the better argument. But once again, it was a great debate, and they do keep getting better.
Well, I mean,
And
Jose, hold on, man, hold on. Who else? How you gonna not go for your tandem partner like that? I don't even feel like you had to say that, bro.
I did. I had to say that. I had to let my brother know I'm with him.
All right, well, all right. I guess. All right. What else you got? That's it.
That's it. That's it. Oh, tune in tomorrow for night 2 of the last argument standing, me and King J.
That's right. Night 2, last argument standing. King J and Jose are starting it off. They are getting random topics. They don't know what they're getting. They don't know who the affirmative or who the negative is. They will each have 3 minutes to make their case. There will be one judge that decides who moves on and who will stay. Once one person is eliminated, the next person will come up and we're going to do it all over again until there is only one debater standing. That debater will go on to face Lucifer at Debate Mania number 2. We're going to go back over to Neo Love. You got any more questions or comments, my brother?
Got another comment. I got another comment. If the debate title was "Is Christianity monotheistic?" then I would deal with straight doctrine and what the church fathers said and all of this kind of stuff. I would consider that if I had to judge it. But the title actually said, "Are Christians monotheistic?" And that's dealing with the people and their actions. So I believe that topic was worded a specific way intentionally. And Christians themselves, even though the doctrine and the book describes monotheism, they miss the message. And that's the message that God sent me with. I'm gonna preach this message in a church pretty soon. And live and direct, and it's my first message is going to be Jesus ain't God. I love Jesus like I love any one of my brothers, but Jesus ain't God, and
Oh,
the
man.
church has missed that. So Christians today, they're worshiping everything under the sun other than the Father. I mean, they
Hey,
worshiping the
you
Father.
about to make Himmy challenge you, bro. You about to
Dude,
make Himmy
hey, look,
challenge you.
and that's another comment I wanted to make. When his reign started, that's when Neo kind of had to step back off the scene. So when he talking about he questioning the most dangerous, his reign started when I was gone. That's all I'm
Mmm.
gonna point out.
Mmm.
I'm back now.
Listen,
No,
Himmy, you got a
actually,
response, Big Himmy?
of course, actually, he ran during my reign. What it wasn't my reign started and you was busy. Me and you were supposed to be debating.
My
They were trying
dad
to
died, Himmy. My dad died.
no before
Come on,
it was
my dad
before,
died. That's when I stepped
okay.
away. I stepped away from Paradigm Shift when my dad died. DMG and everybody else can vouch that.
About a year before
Like
your
real
dad died.
talk. No, a year before my dad died, I was still up in here debating.
You and I hadn't debated is what I'm talking about. So what I'm saying
Okay.
is we have been debating and
What you
a
want to
year
debate? You want to debate if Jesus is God? That's what you want to take up?
I want to respond to the foolishness
Christian
that just
versus
came.
Christian.
So again, y'all keep trying to change the definition of monotheism. The monotheism is the belief in one God. A Trinitarian, how many gods do they believe in?
Three. Three. That's why
That's false.
Trinity means three. They believe in three gods.
That's false. You made that up. You won't get one Trinitarian that will tell you that they believe in more than one God. Stop saying that. You're literally making that up.
He said,
Just
"Stop
to have
saying
a
that."
no, yeah, because he's making that up. Trinitarians believe in one God expressed as three persons. Everybody will tell you that. No, they don't believe in more than one God. So again,
So
you
you
can't
said
change
you
that.
said it again. You said three persons is your
That's
God.
not again.
One person is
Monotheism
my
is
God.
what is Neo? Listen to me carefully. The definition of monotheism is the belief in one God. How many gods does Trinity? How many gods do I believe in, Neo? If you ask me how many gods exist, how many will I tell you?
You gonna say one. I get it. But
Exactly.
hold on before you go there. What about like people like the 5%ers who say the black woman is God? They saying every black woman is God, but they believe in one God, the black woman. That's not monotheism. You can't say all these black women combined to make up one God. You can't do that. And that's what you're basically doing. You're saying all these gods are joined together like Voltron and they're one. No.
I didn't say all these gods. You keep
Hey,
making persons.
real quick. Listen, we got a slot open for Debate Mania 2 for the social media title. But if Neo, I know is bigger than titles and all of that for Neo, so the title ain't even got to be on the line.
Yeah,
But
you can
Debate
keep the
Mania
title.
2, the Debate Mania 2 ain't till next month, the 18th to the 20th, 3 nights. Hey, let's slide one in. Me and Heru already said we might have to do 2 weekends. So that next weekend open too. Can we get this booked?
All I gotta say is, what you gonna do, Big Himmy, when Hulkamania comes down on you?
Oh
I
man.
don't understand none of that. Set it
Man.
up. You know, I don't duck whatever Neo wanted to, I'm ready. I'm gonna show you that
Oh
he's not the
man.
most dangerous nothing when it comes to this Bible. He's just a nigga that claims that. I'm gonna show you.
Uh-oh. All
Hey, I
right,
never
listen.
made the claim. I never made the claim.
We gonna go over to the Queen B. Honey Clark, you got another question or comment?
Huh? Oh no.
All right.
Oh, I get you.
Champ,
Can I make a
question.
comment? Can I make a comment?
Oh,
Honey, you know,
did you? Oh, go ahead,
let
Steve.
me say something real quick. Honey, you know I love you and welcome to the shift. And I know that Himmy is a barbarian, and you know you bias, which is good, which is cool. But you know I love you. Welcome back to the shift. You should spend more. You should spend more time over here. All right.
I see Steve.
Yeah, don't get quiet. Don't get quiet, honey. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Listen, hey, champ, you got a question or comment for anybody?
Yeah, put Kimmy Infomonger on the screen, on the big screen.
Hold on. Let me
What you want me up there for?
Put him up
my
there real
drink.
quick. Yeah,
All right.
I just want to point something out. This motherfucker got an almost mustache. He kind of got
Oh
one.
wow.
And I ain't got no facial hairs either. I ain't got no facial hairs. I got this baby face all my
I'm
life.
looking.
I got no
Hey, but
facial. I
he
don't
the kid.
shave.
He
I
a
don't
true
shave.
Kemet. He a true Kemet infomercial. I ain't had no facial hair in ancient Kemet.
I ain't
That's
Man,
got
right. That's
bro,
right.
he got a
my
5 o'clock
like a
shadow
coke
where
bottle.
his mustache supposed to be.
Lucifer. Come on now. All right, Lucifer.
Hey
All
man.
right.
Be careful, Lucifer. Be careful, man. Cause listen, Night of the Living, he got the last argument standing. Tomorrow he might be the last one standing, and Night of the Living Arguments is in October. Right now, he the #1 ranked debater. I'm just saying, man, you might have to see him, bro.
I'll discipline my child when that time comes. I just want to say something to Himmy too. I got a comment for Himmy, and he can respond how he want to respond. Why do you think claims overpower or overrule rather evidence or actual things that are happening? Because your responses with Neo was, well, if I claim that I believe in one God, then that pretty much destroys the argument. even though we can show and demonstrate that there are several deities that you believe in or adhere to or believe it just exists. Why do you think the claim itself is more powerful than the evidentiary stuff that we're seeing on display? I guess that is a question. That's a
He's
question.
trying to tell you don't take the debate. He's trying to tell you don't take the debate. That's what he's trying to tell you. He's trying to help you.
It's kind of like Kim Infomonger's mustache. He think it's there, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? That's what the claim is. The claim is not, you know what I mean? It's not there, bro. The claim is not.
Are you telling the Worldview War social media champion that he think it's one way, but it's the other way?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to tell him, man. Like the Kim Infomonger, he think he got a mustache.
Crazy. That's
but
crazy.
if I got to look for the mustache, it's not really a mustache.
Hey, I'm gonna say it like this. That whole Trinitarian doctrine is why he believe Himmy AI is really him.
Oh, Neo, that was low, brother. That was low. Let me go to the first lady of Paradigm Shift TV 314. Light Brown, step into the light. Let me get this up on the screen right quick. Talk to him, sis.
Hey, y'all. Shout out to the panel. I just want to say that was a great debate for both brothers. But I came up here since you got Neo Love up here. I wanted to know if he was interested in doing a presentation on how the concept of evolution is stolen from Genesis 1.
You mean help with it? Because I can help out with it. Because I don't like that was your topic. I can help you out with it. I can come and join the discussion.
I mean, we'll talk about it. I just wanted to know if you was willing to do it, if you was willing to come on the show and present it.
Absolutely.
All right, don't forget to tell the people about what's on the screen too, sis.
Yeah, because I do remember we broke that down one day, and yes, I was surprised that day, like, because the sister brought it out, and yeah, it was like verbatim almost, like the order of operations, and that surprised me. I didn't even think of that.
Yes, this Wednesday we have Brother Darkness and Brother Nathaniel on their face-off on Step Into the Light Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Be there. These two brothers are, to see them spar is definitely a good thing, and it's very entertaining. So,
hey, we might have to make this one of them chin check grudge matches, man. The way they going at it.
Hey, let's talk about it. It would make sense. It would really make sense.
But yeah, the darkness been an entertaining addition, and I think Nate came in on fire. He remained on fire. So this is gonna be an interesting face to face, and it's gonna be an interesting debate. Do they have a topic yet, or are they gonna come up with their topic on the face to face?
They're gonna come up with it on face to face. They couldn't really agree on one. So yeah, we'll see what happens on Wednesday. But I'm liking that chin check grudge match instead. I'm liking that. That makes sense.
I think I was trying to save it for Jose and King J, but I think this one might be it. For those who not familiar with what we talking about when we say the chin check grudge match, so I came up with a new kind of debate just to kind of settle some scores when things get a little heated and a little personal. You're going to get, for the chin check grudge match, what we doing is you get a 3-minute opening. Each debater gets a 3-minute opening. Then they get a 12-minute chin check, each of them. 12 minutes to chin check their opponent. If it's a title match, you get a 15-minute chin check, just like in a regular match. 15 minutes or 12 minutes. And then you get a 3-minute closeout. And that's the debate. No presentation. No slides, straight to the chin check. 3-minute opening, chin check, 3-minute close. So depending on how this go with these brothers, we might get right to it because it is highly contentious. So we're gonna see what's up. But that being said, we're gonna let Himmy and Steve get the final word. And we're going to duck out of here. Y'all stay tuned for the last argument standing, night 2 tomorrow. Lucifer already said he got Big Himmy as the favorite. A lot of people saying Steve, a lot of people saying King J. I think it's gonna be a tough field. But we know Jose Francis and King J starting that thing out. So y'all be here tomorrow, 5:15 Central Time. Kim and Infomonger, man, any last words?
Well, we say Hetepa peace. Peace to everyone on the panel. Peace to Big Hemi. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for doing your research and coming to prepared to defend your stance. Um, uh, Honey, long time I ain't speak to. I ain't hear from you. Welcome. You could spend more time back here. Step into the light. Light Brown, that's my sis. My fellow Infomonger, Info Warrior, Heru. What's up? Nate popped on. Lucifer, VM on VM. Tell that boy VM. You don't know. Whatever, man. But yeah, Neo. Yeah, Neo.
Oh,
Long
wait a minute. I ain't get to Nathaniel. My bad. I'm gonna have to get to
Nate popped
Nathaniel
on.
when you get done.
Yeah. Peace, everyone. Thanks for joining in. And may the best man win.
All right, hey, big Hemi, my bad. Let me get to Nathaniel, man. I didn't even realize he was up here. My bad, bro. Nathaniel, I'm talking about your face to face, man. Not even realizing you was up here, bro.
It's
Uh,
all
talk,
good, bro.
talk
Well,
to the
first,
people, man. You heard that suggestion about that chin check grudge match, man. What you think?
it don't matter to me. He can do it any way he wants to do it. It's up to him.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Talk to the people about what you got planned for Debate Mania as well.
I got a Khalil Shabazz debate. It's Farad, Allah in the flesh. Everybody come out and see it. I'm gonna put on a good show for you. Yeah, me and the brother done had a couple of conversations together, so it looked like it's gonna be pretty heated. So you might want to come check that one out.
No doubt. That's Saturday, September 19th. That's Debate Mania Day 2. Debate Mania Day 2. I think we said, what did we say? 3:15. Khalil Shabazz representing the NOI versus our brother Nathaniel Hughes. He is an Orthodox Muslim, was for Muhammad. Allah in the flesh. It's going to be a powerful debate. Y'all make sure y'all here for it. Debate Mania Day 2. He got a face-to-face this Wednesday with the darkness on Step Into the Light. What time? That's 8:15 Eastern Time?
I believe so. Yeah, 8 o'clock or 8:15.
All right, 8:15 Eastern Time on Step Into the Light. He got a face-to-face with the darkness. They're going to come to terms on a debate. Expect it to be highly contentious. Them brothers been going at it. And he also going to be doing a tandem debates with the brother Hey Rue Conscious. So, hey, we trying to bring some edutaining contests to y'all, man. So y'all stay tuned. Big Himmy. Hey, man, I didn't expect the most dangerous Bible believer to come up here and issue a challenge to you, brother. But, hey, man, it ain't easy being the best, I call you the best biblical debater, but now the most dangerous Bible believer. So either you gonna leave that debate with Neo with the title of the most dangerous Bible believer and the best biblical debater, or he gonna leave with both of them titles, man. What is gonna be, brother?
Yeah, I already know what it's gonna be, man. I can't be the best and not the most dangerous. Come on, fam. I can't be the best and not the most dangerous. So you already know how that's gonna go, man. But I appreciate the platform as always, DMG. Appreciate the love and support. I appreciate you, Kimmy, Infomonger, brother Steve, man. You showed up, showed out, and you showed me something in this debate, like what Honey was saying. Like you brought the energy, man. That's why, I turned up in my second round because I was like, oh, this guy got a little energy on him. So I enjoyed the debate. I had fun as always, getting that information. Appreciate everybody that tuned in, was in the comments, liking, sharing, subscribing, supporting the platform. and we're gonna keep rocking, man. I'm trying to hold on to this belt, and I'm trying to that last argument standing. I'm trying to get that so I can he got the 3 6s, but I'm gonna turn them 3 6s and 3 7s. They're gonna be our third go round, and try to get them, put them in the dirt for good. That Laker fight. So, hey man, let's keep it going.
There it is, family. Hey, night 2, last argument standing tomorrow, 5:15 Central Time. Be here for it. Jose Francis, the Eye Smiter, and King J gonna be kicking that thing off, man. They don't know what they getting. They don't know who the affirmative or who the negative is. 7 men entering, only one gonna leave with a title shot to dance with the devil at Debate Mania. Paradigm Shift TV 314, Heavy Hitters Debate League, Worldview Wars Debate League, man. We trying to do this thing. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. We'll be back at it again tomorrow. Last argument standing. Till then, that's peace. Oh, yeah. And shout out to all them loser niggas making them 8-hour videos, man. Listen. Hey. I just want y'all
I
to know.
want to say something on that.
I just want y'all to know. Being hated by losers is the price I pay for not being one of them. Keep doing what y'all do, niggas. We out.
There can be only one.
Worldview Wars! 6 walk in. 1 walks out.
There can be only one.
Yeah. Whoa, yeah. 6 minds ready, 6 hearts collide. No place to run, nowhere to hide. 3-minute rounds, every second counts. Truth gets tested when the pressure mounts. Random topics, no time to prepare. Sink or swim, better meet us there. One judge watching every single move. Win this battle or you've got nothing to prove. No second chances, no replay tonight. One mistake, you're out of the fight. There can be only one. Stand your ground until it's done. One by one they fade away. Only one survives the day. Fight for the gold, fight for the name. Debate mania's calling. Remember that name. Every argument forged in the fire. Every contender climbing higher. Single elimination, everything's real. Every word becomes another weapon. The wheel, no excuses, no looking back. Every debate is a full-on attack. Last one standing earns the right to chase championship gold beneath the lights. Clock keeps ticking, 3 minutes go. Random resolution steal the show.